I also want to thank everybody in the chat room right now. The Lumeri, Fight Scout, Nes Mendoza, Grievous, Pop Tart Gun, Nes Mendoza, Official Scorecard Boxing, Mr. Coxey, NCZ Mendoza, Grievous, Subash Kunwar, Box, Saint Brits, Akib Rafik, SAS, and History Bolt, Body Aces, G Boogie in the house, Duck, Azzy, Sean Newton's in there as well. Shout out to Sean Newton, Box, and many more to come. Boxing Virus. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us. Whew, what a fight, huh? I mean, not to toot my own horn, but I did. I did predict a harder than expected fight for Inoue. In fact, some of us weren't exactly convinced with Inoue, but I gotta tell you, this fight, despite him not getting the knockout or the stoppage win, almost did. He did hurt Donaire twice during the fight, almost stopped him in the 11th. So, I mean, you can't really criticize Donaire too much. I mean, Inoue, I should say. You can't really criticize him too much, although there is room for improvement. But nevertheless, he wins the 118-pound WBSS tournament. Does so in impressive fashion. The first two fights of this tournament didn't even go past 3 rounds. And then in this one, he takes on the best fighter he's ever fought, the most experienced, bigger, and hardest punching guy he's ever fought. And he almost took him out in the 11th. Now, I know some people are going to say, well, what if Donaire would have been younger? What if Donaire would have been younger and faster? And okay, but this was always going to be a hard fight for Inoue because he was fighting a guy who, uncharacteristically, found a bit of a second renaissance. Or a renaissance, I should say, not a second renaissance. He found a renaissance during his career and was able to go back down to 118 for this fight. You don't see that very often. Okay? So, I mean, I'm not going to criticize the guy too much, Inoue, and say, what if. Those what ifs, what if Mike Tyson didn't have power? What would he have done? See where I'm going with this? See, you can't really go that route. You shouldn't go down that route. It's not right. It's an infamia. Okay? Now, let me just get the bracket here for the subject. Let me just change the subject real quick. What should be the subject called? Naoya Inoue Super Jab. No, I'm kidding. Naoya Inoue wins the WBSS tournament. Monster. And then a couple of interrogation points. There we go. Because there's going to be some questions here. There's going to be some questions asked about Naoya Inoue. Hold on a second. Let me just. Okay. Let me read a couple of comments from the from the chat here. Usually I'm dealing with a lot of people today, a bit of a more relaxed environment. So let's see what people are saying about the fight. G Boogie says, hell of a fight. Old dog didn't want to go down. Easy and young monster. We gotta give him props. That was a hell of a fight. Cine Macias, as he says, it was a top 5 fight this year. Yeah, a lot of people are saying that this was the fight of the year. I'd have to. Oh, Pete just donated with a super chat. Shout out to Pete and says, props to the WBSS and to Donaire and Inoue for laying it on the line. Domo arigato. Yeah, man, that's the other thing. That's what we talked about in the last couple of shows about how the WBSS and the DAZN, hassle-free. I mean, other than Prograis complaining about the payday prior to the Taylor fight, this was a tournament that went on without any drama. I mean, sure, you had Tete dropping out, but that was an unforeseen circumstance. It wasn't because one guy wanted more money or one guy wasn't getting paid enough or one guy didn't have the biggest picture on the marquee or the bigger name or he didn't have the prostitute that he wanted. I mean, this was just a type of fight, an event. Everything flowed smoothly. And it's a shame that most people aren't giving these fights the respect that they deserve, these events. The Josh Taylor Prograis fight couldn't have gone any better. The two best guys that everybody expected to get to the final got there, and it turned out to be a fantastic fight. This one as well. Meanwhile, more people are talking about Wilder, Ortiz, and Joshua Luis. But listen, I'm not complaining. I'm just saying that's the nature of the game. It's more the heavyweights and the drama and the race wars. That's what gets most people going, other than the boxing. But this is a boxing channel. We dabble in a bit of drama sometimes just to get some traction going, but for the most part, it's all about the boxing. And it did not get any better, cannot get any better than what we saw today. What else? Reading some of the comments here. Cinema CS says a great fight. Wow, just wow. James Thao says fight of the year. Didn't know who would get KO'd. Both men had a great chance. Yeah, that was the other thing that was interesting about this fight is that you knew that if one guy landed, it could be lights out. But credit for both guys to staying upright despite taking big shots. St. Britt says, why didn't the ref let Inoue finish him when he landed that body shot? Very good question. You know what I think happened with the ref? I think so some refs are so used to seeing a guy go down from a body shot as soon as they react to it that I think he wanted to keep Inoue off of Donaire, thinking that Donaire was about to go down. But Donaire, this is one of the weirdest reactions to a body shots I've seen in the sense that he took the shot, but it took him a good 3 seconds or 4 seconds for him to go down. I mean, this guy, Donaire wasn't sure. It was almost as if he was thinking about it. It's like, don't go down, don't go down. But of course, if you've ever eaten a body shot, you know, no matter how much you don't want to go down, you gotta go down. It's like women when they meet me. They gotta go down on me. You know, there's no two ways about it. Cinema says Inoue must go to neutral corner. Saint Britt. Yeah, that's the other thing. But what I think what Saint Britt is talking about is that Inoue was about to jump on Donaire because Donaire was still standing, and the ref intervened, and then Donaire went down. So it was a weird thing because if Donaire would have gone down and the ref would have told Inoue go to your neutral corner, that would have made sense. But Donaire didn't go down, so that was a bit of a gaffe by the referee. It was a bit of a gaffe. Can't blame the guy. I think it was a weird circumstance. We've never really seen a guy take a body shot and wins for 3 seconds, 4 seconds, and then go down. The referee should have let Inoue get to him, and then Donaire could have decided to go down or not. But anyway, it wasn't that big a deal. Saint Britt says he hasn't gone down. Yeah, that's what I'm saying there. Okay, Buddy Ace says top toe to toe of the year in my notebook. Top toe to toe of the year. Buddy Ace says, I think I know what you're saying, but you just wrote that in a very disgusting fashion. Hand history revolt says only if Donaire was younger, he would have gotten Inoue out in the ninth. Yeah, but again, see that if I don't like to go there. Official scorecard boxing says, yo guys, I just jumped from Max. Oh, I didn't know he was streaming. Fuck. Anyway, if you check out Mark's stream, he's got some good insight. I wonder what his insight is for this fight. Good morning, Vietnam. Pop Tart Gun. Shout out to Pop Tart. Fight Scout says Inoue's win over Donaire is better than Canelo's staged win over Kovalev. Oh, people are still talking about that. The Lumeri says next time a fight of this caliber should be held on neutral grounds. Fighters should get a fair deal. Great fight from Brave Lions. Inoue. Well, I don't think that the location had much to do with this one. I think both guys put up a great fight. Inoue's youth did play a part, like as he was saying, I think it was. But at the end of the day, Inoue did show defense, good defense. It's when he started trading. That's when he's got into a little bit of trouble. When he was playing defense, pretty good, pretty good. What else? James Dow says those shots Donaire took would have folded any other bantamweight. That's a good point. That's a good point. I don't see a lot of bantamweights who are going to be able to take Donaire's shots. I mean, Inoue's shots. This was power. You could tell that Donaire was using all of his experience to roll with the shots, stay upright, and take whatever he couldn't roll with. But I mean, that power from Inoue, it's sickening. It's disgusting. I'm not gonna take it. Doug says boxing should only consist of the WBSS. That's absolutely right. What else do we have here? Triple JJJ in the chat room says, "What's up, scoundrels? Scoundrels." Punch for Pound says, "That was what I mean. I didn't even know about that one. Don't think I watched the PBC tune-up. I don't know what they're talking about there." Everyone looks good was against. Okay, they're talking about some other fight. Okay, so let's just look at a little bit of a recap of what happened in this one. Donaire versus Inoue, or Inoue versus Donaire, I should say. As per boxing scene, the scorecards were, and I'm gonna put them up here. Hold on a second. Come on, gotta make that screen bigger there. What's going on here? Saitama Super Arena. Hey, that was a nice arena, by the way. Very good looking arena. Very sexy arena. Very sexual. So you had one judge giving 116, 111, 117, 109, and one very, very close 114, 113. The 117, 109 seems a little wide at first glance for such a competitive fight, but you have to remember, Donaire was fighting in spurts in there. And even though he was blocking a lot of Inoue's shots, um, Inoue was being the more active fighter. He's got the Canelo factor. The Canelo factor is, in BDA's book, when a guy has more explosive shots, even if they don't land, the crowd's gonna go ooh and ah, and they're very flashy shots, and so those are the type of shots that really create a lot of excitement with the judges. And that's what we saw from Inoue in this one. BDA Betty Butter bought some butter. Oh, the hell is he talking about? If how much wood could a woodchuck chuck if woodchucks could chuck wood? Is that what you're going with? Somebody went to charm school. Hans History Revolt says 117, 109 is a good card. The judge gave a 10-8 with no knockdown. The judge gave 114, 113. Doesn't that mean that Donaire was penalized a point for the knockdown? Reese Max says Donaire did hurt Inoue a few times, though. Yeah, he hurt him, especially what was it, the 8th, 9th round? He hurt him with a huge right hand. Now, let's talk about that because, like I was saying, and somebody was mentioning that in the chat room as well, Inoue's type of power, I don't see a lot of guys at 118 being able to take that one type of shot. I mean, this is power that's out of this world. It is legit power. Don't get it twisted. Now, we questioned Inoue's abilities in this podcast, but we didn't necessarily. We did question the power. We knew the power and the speed is legit. The defense, that was a whole other thing, and we're gonna get to that. But at this point, I'm gonna put up the list here of some of the top 10 bantamweights. You have Joshua Greer, John Rielsis Casimero from the Philippines. You know, these guys are tough, but you gotta wonder. It takes more than regular toughness to take Inoue's power. So, Boxing Spectrum just donated with the super chat, Gonzalo, that is. And he says, hold on a second, let me read his super chat. He says, I think, geez, did I put that up again? He says, I think the Japanese were a little nervous for the superstar. Yeah. Now, for those of you who have never seen a Japanese fight or a fight in Japan, don't mistake their silence for fear. That's just the way these Japanese guys are. The Japanese crowds, they usually don't cheer unless something exceptional is going on. They're usually very respectful. That's just their society. That's how they are. They don't. It's not the WWE crowd where they're shouting and crowd, or the UFC crowd where they're fighting each other in the stands. It's a little bit more of a reserved crowd. They're very reserved in public. Then when they go backstage and when they go behind closed doors, that's when they pull out the tentacle porn and the schoolgirl panties tainted with urine. I mean, that's what they do behind closed doors. But when they're out there in public, in a public event, very respectful. You got to respect that from the Japanese people. So, like I was saying, Joshua Greer, Carlos Cuadras. Again, Cuadras, he just got out of rehab a couple of months ago. I don't know how much he's got left in the tank either. And the 118, a bigger weight, it could be to his advantage. The fact that he wouldn't have to cut weight. But also, I don't know, his style is reliant a lot on speed and reflexes, and alcohol will kill all of that for you. Takuma Inoue, who lost today on the undercard against it was a dude that beat Roshi Warren, I believe. Hold on a second. Let me just. I don't want to pull crap out of my ass here like I always do. Yeah, he just lost to Nordin Ubali. That would make for a nice little fight. Ubali versus Naoya Inoue. Naoya Inoue would have to avenge his brother's honor and the honor of his dojo as well, so that would be interesting. And 33 years old, as you can see, he's no spring chicken for a fighter. He's got a couple of good wins, like I said, the Roshi Warren fight that was on the undercard of Broner Pacquiao. Luis Melendez, he's a good little fighter. Alejandro Hernandez too. Don't let the records fool you. Artur Villanueva. But he's more of a volume puncher, come forward guy. That would be a nice little fight for Inoue if he can get Tete or Nery in there. But now that's the other thing, fellas. Oh, that's the other thing. Let's go back to the top 10 guys here. Jason Maloney, I don't think. See, the thing with Inoue is you gotta have some pop, some mustard in your shots to keep him honest, just like Donaire had. And I don't see a lot of these guys having that. Rodriguez just lasted 2 rounds with Donaire. He's still a hell of a fighter. We're going to see what he can do with Luis Nery, by the way. Now Nery has to impress us. Nordino Bali, the aforementioned Frenchman, Nonito Donaire, who just gave it his all against Inoue. Zolani Tete. So that's what I'm trying to get at here. I think we can all agree, depending on what Nery does against Rodriguez, he has to get past Rodriguez. Rodriguez is no bum. He's no slouch. He's a sharp guy. And unless Inoue took his soul, I don't expect easy things for Luis Nery. But I think we can all agree that the fight that we all want to see the most in this one is Nery versus Inoue. Now, Nery, just to remind you, is a bit of a dirty fighter. He had some hijinks with the PEDs. First of all, he's Mexican. He looks, just looking at this picture, doesn't he look like a FBI ISIS most wanted or Taliban or Al Qaeda? Look at him. He looks. If I ever get on the plane and I see this guy staring at me like that, I'm thinking, all right, I'm getting off this plane and I'm calling the FBI. Okay. That's number one. He's a tough-looking fella. And look at his record, too. Indicates that he's a tough fella. 24 knockouts out of 30 wins. But like I said, shenanigans. A couple of hijinks. Just a couple. Against, what was it, Yamanaka? Yeah, Shishune Yamanaka, whom he ass-fucked twice with the PEDs and the weight issues. And he can no longer fight in Japan. Now, I was talking about Inoue avenging his brother's honor against Ubali, I should say, Ubali. I don't know how you say that, even in French, I don't know how you say that. But if he wants to avenge Japan's honor, Naoya Inoue, he can certainly take on the Mexican terrorist. See how that looks. But again, like I said, this is dependent on Luis Nery and how he looks against what's his name? Rodriguez. All right, before I continue with my diatribe here, let's go to the chat room, continue reading some of the comments that we've got here. Gotta go way back. Okay. Donaire Rahowa says Donaire is bigger and enjoying an Indian summer, as you say. The Lumeri says Inoue got exposed. Certainly, he's human after all. But see, that's the thing. When we talk about exposed, we're not saying. I would say exposed to those who thought that he was invincible. But for those of us who keep a bit more conservative attitude, we knew that he wasn't invincible, but he's a hell of a fighter. And I don't see many 118-pounders giving him a tough fight. Boogie says there is no doubt that each fighter gave the fight of their lives, end quote. Yeah, they had to dig deep. Inoue had to dig deep too, especially getting hurt and getting cut, and he was bleeding from the nose all night long. I tell you, Donaire, it took him a while. But at 36 years old, soon to be 37, he did start to put it all together in this fight. He was using his right hand more. Isn't that interesting, by the way? We all thought that his left hook was going to be the difference in this fight. It was actually the right hand. The night of the right hands. And he was going to the body. I would have liked to have seen him go to the body a little bit more. But again, it's hard to do so when you get a sharp counterpuncher like Inoue in there. Bucho says, great job by the WBSS. Yeah, that was a great event. Great event. Everything went according to plan. What else? Pete remembers Japanese from school, says Shepherd's Sons. WBSS should stage finals on neutral grounds next time, says Lumeri. Yeah, maybe. But I mean, yeah, well, that wouldn't be a bad idea, just for fairness. But also, you got to give credit to these guys that, like Donaire and Prograis, who went to the other guy's hometown in the final and didn't complain about it too much. That's what we expect from fighters. You got to travel, guys. You got to travel. Heard J-Rock was fight of the year, says Azzy. Beterbiev Gvozdyk second, but this was up there. I actually didn't think the Gvozdyk-Beterbiev fight was that entertaining because I always thought Beterbiev was always one step ahead of Gvozdyk. But then again, it's subjective. Punch for Pound says, when Japan's fights are fixed less often than America's, boxers get a problem. Well, Japan, I mean, I do remember with Pride FC, they had a whole lot of fixed fights in there, a lot of circus fights, but then again, that was MMA. I don't know how much the Yakuza is involved, if at all, with a guy like Inoue. Joey T says he's a good fighter, but it wouldn't put Inoue top of the pound-for-pound list, and people who compared him to Pac, nothing close to Pac, legendary run in the lower weight classes against Hall of Fame fighters. I understand why people compared him to Inoue, but you're right. I mean, when people were saying, like, I'm a big fan of Steve Kim. I've been reading his columns for 15 years, maybe more. I'd have to really do a calculation on that one, but I mean, for a long time. I really respect Steve Kim's opinion, but when he put Inoue number one pound for pound, I had to give my head a shake and say, "What's going on here? Did somebody spike my drink? Somebody must have spiked my drink because I can't believe Steve Kim would have Inoue number one." Now, again, I gotta be fair here. I'm not gonna say Inoue was exposed. I'm not gonna say he was completely overrated. He was overrated in the sense that he was, people were saying he was invincible. But let's face the facts here, guys. He fought Donaire, the biggest opponent of his career, in size, I'm talking about, a guy who had power and the best resume in the tournament, the most experience as well. So there were a lot of things against Inoue in there. Now, I know some of you are going to say, well, yeah, but if he was this monster that everybody expected him to be, he should have run over Donaire. He almost did. He almost did. I still maintain that I want to see Inoue clean up the 118 division because even though he won the tournament, let's face the facts, he did not beat Solani Tete. And now we got Luis Nery crawling at his feet saying, hey, I'm the monster in this division, not you. So I hope those two tango with each other to see really what happens. And again, like I said, I keep saying, Nery has to get past Rodriguez. Okay? As Mendoza says, please smash the like button, and leave the gentleman a super chat. Yes, that's right, gentlemen. Thank you, Nez. Hit that like button. Subscribe, spread the BDA gospel. If you want to donate a couple of shekels, it's not mandatory. One day it will be. Just like it will be mandatory that if you do not agree with transracialism, you will have to go to a re-education BDA camp. But that's not yet arrived. The Crimson Inquisition has not yet arrived, and I am not yet an abbot in that Inquisition. All right, Azzy and Shepard are getting into it in the chat. Punch for Pound says, Box Hurd has no defense. It takes away from the quality of the fight. Are you talking about Jaron Hurd? Nonito gave Inoue a third eye over his right eye, says... Jeez, who said that? Hold on a second. The chat just moved real quick. Oh, yeah, Reesmack. It was Reesmack that said that. Yeah, and then Reesmack says, the judges on his card got it right. For the most part, no controversial outcomes today. That's what I like. Controversy-free. Triple JJJ says, BDA would spike his own drink. That, unfortunately, is true. That is true and a little bit sad, if you ask me. I think I'm going to go ahead and spike my drink right now, just to make over that. Lumeri says, boxers can travel, but in the WBSS, please let us see a different location. All right, Lumeri, we get it, man. You want to see a different location. Where do you want to see them fight? The Bahamas? Trinidad? Barbados? Stop it. We get it. Gonzalo says, the thing about the Jerd versus J-Rock fight, it was Hurd who was not as competitive like the other fighters in the other fights. Okay, I got to reread that. What? The thing about the Hurd versus J-Rock fight was that Hurd was not as competitive like the other fighters. Okay, he's talking about the other Fight of the Year candidates. Yeah, maybe you're right, Gonzalo. Maybe you're right. I have to go back to the other fights, the Fight of the Year contenders. Nez Mendoza says he wants to see Trinidad. Hey, you know we should do, Bucho, I know you're listening, we should do a BDA from, well, what do they call it? That Jamaica or what? The Caribbean BDA, like Caribbean BDA episode. I think we're gonna do that after Bucho comes, if he comes back from Saudi Arabia, because again, Bucho is going to be broadcasting from Saudi Arabia, from Mecca, when the Joshua Luis rematch takes place. All right, so listen. Triple JJJ says carry BDA. All right, listen. I wanted to say that Luis Nery. So how good is Luis Nery? Well, I gotta tell you, he's pretty good. But we gotta watch for the Rodriguez fight and see what happens there. And only then will we really find out what it's all about. Now, some people are saying that I'm looking at some comments from the message boards, and some people are saying that this was a fight of the year. Let's go to boxing scene. Usually, you guys know I don't like to go to the boxing scene. It is a cesspool sometimes. For every good comment that you find in there, there's about 5 bad ones. But people in this one are saying Inoue versus Donaire, fight of the year, no question. One guy goes, that got my blood boiling. No other fight comes close. What a fight. Some guy goes, effing fight of the year. Clean, high-level boxing, definitely fight of the year. One guy goes, the zone sucks, though. Yeah, they suck. That's why they were the only network that were willing to show this fantastic fight. That's what they suck. Go back to watching the NBA or drive-bys. You fucking piece of crap. This was great boxing. I don't know what's wrong with some people. David says, both got hurt several times in this one. Props to an old Donaire for this fight. Inoue really has to tighten his defense if he wants to move up. Donaire's loss to the pound for pound number one king is better than Canelo. Okay, come on. The pound for pound king. Inoue is not the pound for pound king, all right? And he says it's better than Canelo's win over Kovalev. Well, this is a great fight. Spence vs. Porter will be fight of the year, though. Oh, that was another fantastic fight. Again, a similar narrative to this one. A lot of people thought Spence was the invincible monster. We even had one guy in here saying that Spence was gonna murder. He actually used the word murder. Sean Porter. Turns out that somebody did almost get murdered this year, but it was, or killed rather, and that was Errol Spence in his Ferrari. The Flash showed. Donaire showed his veteran skills. He looked huge compared to Inoue. Rocked him a couple of times. Both guys showed heart. Yeah, that's the thing. Bucho was telling me that. He told me, he says, hey, Donaire really did look bigger, and that could have played a factor. It definitely did play a factor. That's what we were saying. It wasn't going to be an easy fight for Inoue. Lord Batista says, I'll get Bucho a blue screen and he can go anywhere. I don't know what that means. Virtuoso says round 11 is round of the year. Oh yeah, because didn't after he dropped after Inoue dropped Donaire, didn't he get caught with a huge left hook? It actually looked like he was staggered a little bit. I don't know. It could just be me. Nes Mendoza says not yet. Doc says don't be surprised if Ubali outboxes Nery. Hey, listen, I want to see Nery how he does against Rodriguez, man. I want to see her. Nery is a walking pharmacy from the streets of Mexico. So don't be surprised if he can pull something out of the bag here against Rodriguez. Fight Scout says Boxing Spectrum Canelo vs. Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. was made because the cartel wanted to see it. All right. Boxing Spence couldn't even put hands on Minecraft head. Spence Porter kind of sloppy, says Gonzalo. Errol, 3-tooth left. Oh, yeah. It's his Errol. His Errol only has three teeth left. I mean, come on. Spence should breast milk into Porter. Pop Tart says Spence shot breast milk into Porter's eyes. Corruption in boxing says Bucho will return from Saudi Arabia looking like Luis Nery. Yeah, he's gonna come back with a whole bunch of Sufi tattoos on his body. Rod's Bride says both had great chins. It's just an old Donaire's skill and talent was just the same. Doc says he could chep. I'm worried that he got hurt by Takuma though. LOL. He was stunned after knocking down Donaire, says Virtuoso. Lourdes Batista says, meaning his background can look like he's anywhere. Just an idea. I like when Bucho... Subhash Kumar says, I like Bucho when he talks back to BDA. Well, he's not talking back to me. It's we're co-hosts, and sometimes we get on each other's nerves a little bit because we're trying to get the show. We're trying to get the show rolling, and we're so passionate about it that we start fighting with each other. On Rival Boxing Talk and News, aka McGregor says, hey, Mr. BDA, do you love the WBSS? I love the WBSS. All right. It's a bit of a weird comment, the way he said it. Joey T says, Nonito has lately been the king of almost KOing opponents. Yeah, almost. Hurt Magdaleno, Frampton, and so forth, but he can get the job done, so I don't know how to judge. I don't know how to judge Nonito's power when the others have survived and beat him too. Listen, Donaire's power is legit. I've said it before numerous times, so many times that people are actually sick of... hold on a second. People are actually sick of hearing it, but Donaire has a type of power that is just as good as Inoue's. Everybody he's fought, he has managed to either drop or stun. Actually, that's not true. The only guy I don't remember him stunning, dropping, make him do the baby deer dance, whatever, was what's his name, Narvaez. That's the only fighter that I don't recall to get hurt by Donaire. But then again, he was in survival mode for that one. Everybody else, like this guy said, Magdaleno, Frampton, who got it looked like he was in a car accident. The way his head snapped back, that whiplash from Donaire's uppercut. Did he hurt Magdaleno? Yeah, I remember he hurt him, and I was looking for that spot in a fight, but I didn't finish rewatching it, so I didn't find it. Hopefully somebody can remind us which round it was. But I do remember he sort of made Magdalena stumble a little bit there. Also, Rigondeaux, he dropped him. Vasquez, he dropped him twice, I believe, or had him hurt. He did hurt Nicholas Walters. I mean, this guy just... And then going back to 118, fighting a guy like Inoue, a smaller guy, of course he was going to hurt him. And Inoue showed guts, fighting through a cut, bleeding nose, and getting stunned in that 8th or 9th round, I believe. But let's talk about Inoue's defense. because a lot of people. Oh, Gonzalo says, "Yeah, Bucho, you and Bucho fighting BD has to do with all the negative energy that Canelo brings." Ah, we're moved. First of all, we never fought. Bucho and I myself have never fought over Canelo, so I don't. That's not has nothing to do with it. The point is, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, the defense. Inoue's defense. So how that was the main thing that I was talking about, along with a couple of other of our panelists prior to the fight, which was, is Inoue's defense leaky? How good is it? Well, as you could see here, he showed some good upper body movement. He was rolling away from the right hands in certain spots. But then as he started to slow down, he was eating those right hands flush in the face. Now, that has to do with a couple of factors. Number one, to be defensively responsible throughout the whole fight does take a lot of energy. And let's face the facts, Inoue has not gone the distance a whole lot of times. Okay, he has not gone the distance. And when you go, there's a reason why defensive fighters go the distance so many times. It's because they're getting those rounds in as well. And they're getting better at playing defense and being consistent with it. What's his name? Inoue, his last couple of fights, he only went 3-4 rounds total. No, not yet. About that, or 5. Finally had to go 12 rounds against the best fighter of his opponent of his career, a guy with quick hands, a lot of experience. And I'm not surprised he got caught, but he passed the test, guys. I'm sold on the guy. I'm sold on the guy. You know what? I see Gonzalo's in the chat room. I'm gonna go ahead and invite him. Hold on a second. What? Yeah, okay. So while I do that, hopefully he answers. While I do that, I want to keep harping on Inoue's defense because again, a little bit leaky, but he got the job done. He did not eat that many flush left hooks. I mean, we knew he was going to eat some, but it wasn't anything outside of the realm of normalcy. What's the word? Normalcy? Normalcy? Anyway, listen, I'm getting distracted here because I'm trying to call Gonzalo. All right. See if he answers. Corruption, is your Discord working? Corruption, because if you want, I can let you in here. But we got Gonzalo on the line. Gonzalo, are you there?
Yes, let me hook up my headphones real fast.
No, it's unacceptable. Unacceptable, soldier. You should have been ready. I'm kidding. Meanwhile, I wanted to keep saying about the Inoue defense. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. He can, you saw him rolling away from the right hands in a couple of instances. Good upper body movement. You see the distance pretty well. And I think he's a good fighter. Now, he's no defensive genius, but if you combine the fact that he's pretty good defensively, and he's decent defensively, and you combine that with his counter punching, with his power, with his hand speed, he's just a top-notch fighter. He's a top 10 pound for pound, no question about it. I mean, he did win the tournament now. Of course, he didn't beat Tete yet, so he hasn't cleared out the division. There's still Inoue Neri, like I said, clawing at his heels. But I do think he's a pound for pounder. And listen, most of these other guys that don't have world-class hand speed or world-class power, they're not going to be able to stand in there with him. It's like with Golovkin when he was in his prime. Guys like Daniel Gill and Martin Murray, they're good fighters, but they did not have exceptional ring IQ, hand speed, or power, and they just got run over. And I think that's what's going to happen with a lot of these guys that Inoue fights. They're not going to be able to, just the power alone is going to have them all jittery, and that's going to be a problem. It's going to be a big problem. All right, we got Gonzalo on the line. Gonzalo, what did you think about the fight? Gonzalo, can you hear me? Gonzalo? Gonzalo! All right, I think he's arranging his, like he said, he's arranging those headphones of his.
Yes, hello.
Oh, there we go. So, Gonzalo, what did you think of the fight?
It was great. Real good. Donaire, he looked bigger. I mean, still made the weight. As far as his conditioning, it held up. He had never lost at 118. It was a close fight with the knockdown. Inoue won by like 3 points, 4 points. But it was competitive.
Now, I'm talking about Inoue's defense here. From 1 to 10, keeping in mind that a lot of people think he's a pound for pound, the pound for pound king, and that he's going to be able to jump through divisions. How good is his defense from 1 to 10, and is it good enough to compete against or to be pound for pound number 1 combined with his power and everything else he has?
Well, he's got, since he's a power puncher. I guess he like that could be his defense to some guys that can't take his shots, to where he can put forth an attack to where he doesn't feel that he has to be wary of the other guy's power, because the other guy's more worried about covering up. But here against a bigger guy, he resorted to using his legs. Okay, like, and sometimes he will square up because he likes to volley back and forth with hooks. So when you do that, it's easier to get off a combination, from one hand to the other. So, like, he has to be cognizant that he has to want to keep a side profile to where he can push off his front fight you, then he can look to switch it up where he throws the left hand instead of a lead right, because he's got a good left battle of the left hooks. They were both rocking and rolling.
Yeah, he was getting hurt, and you're right. I mean, he Inoue that has shown, yeah, at least he showed he can fight off the back foot. And I suppose some people are gonna say, "Oh, he got caught against Donaire. That means his defense ain't all that," or he got hurt against Donaire, so that means his defense ain't all that good. But he could have taken those shots from anybody else and not have been in as much trouble as Donaire put him in. I mean, Donaire is a big, big puncher, and for the most part, hey, listen, Inoue avoided most of the heavy artillery coming his way. So I give him a passing grade with that defense. I thought he was pretty quick, and like Gonzalo said, sometimes a good offense is a good defense. And like I told you guys, a lot of guys out there are going to be eating that power, and they will not be throwing and letting their hands go because they're going to be too worried about what's coming back. So when it comes to Inoue, I think he's doing pretty good there. The other thing I liked about Donaire, though, is that he was trying to go to the body in certain instances. There were other instances where he had Inoue backed up and on the ropes, and he didn't go to the body. And you could tell that he was a little bit worried about the incoming fire. So I'm not going to blame him too much for that Donaire. I loved how he was countering Inoue's jabs with left hooks to the body. Love to see more people do a little bit of that in the future. And let's see what people are saying in the chat room real quick again. Don't always have the chance to go to the chat room, so this is quite fortuitous here. Let me go back a little bit. Corruption in Boxing says Omar Narvaez had never been dropped as an amateur and a professional until Inoue floored him 4 times and stopped him. Good point. Lourdes Batista says, why should anyone fight about Canelo? His fights are questionable, so if you know that, don't watch him. People are still talking about Canelo. Can't move on from that. I'm going to move you in from that. I'll tell you that much right now. Inoue fanboys think he could beat Tank. Okay, Joey T says Inoue fanboys thought he could beat Tank and Loma at 130. LOL. And a lot comparing to Pacquiao. The YouTube comments on his fight videos are some of the worst. Joey T, we've talked about that, if you remember, in certain episodes. Remember when we got Pearl Harbor? When in the first episode we started just doubting Inoue. We weren't saying he sucks. We just said, hey, listen, we don't think he's pound for pound #1 yet, even top 5 pound for pound, maybe top 10, but top 5, nah, that was a little bit of a stretch. And man, people came at us saying, you don't know shit about boxing, you don't know who he's beaten, just because you don't know who those smaller guys are, you don't watch the lower weight divisions, blah, 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 blah. Why don't you go fuck yourselves? Listen, I respect Inoue. You got to put him in the top 10 pound for pound after today. But Joey T is right, man. Some of those Inoue fans are just as bad as the Wilder fans, as the Pacquiao fans, as the Mayweather fans, and as the Errol Spence fans. Some of the top, most disgusting. The best fans, though, and I think you can all agree with me, are the Ryan Garcia fans. Very respectful, very calm, and very knowledgeable of boxing. We know what's up. Buddy Ace says, I hope Nery gets exposed for using and cheating. That's right. Pete says Gonzalo getting his mic straightened out. Yeah. Fight Scout says Inoue stops Tank easy at 135. Gonzalo, you there?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, well, because I wanted to ask you something about the Inoue thing. Okay, so you remember we talked about Inoue a couple of months ago, and we got attacked in the message chat room. I mean, in the chat room and in the comment section of the podcast we did, where some people were saying, "Oh, you guys are talking smack about Inoue because you don't know shit about boxing. You don't know who he's beaten. He's top 5 pound for pound." What do you think? I mean, after tonight, we gotta give him props. He beat a bigger dude who had more experience and a lot of power. But I think it's safe to say that he's not #1 pound for pound. Correct? What do you think?
Well, it's funny because for one, I don't know if to trust what the Japanese translator was saying, because he was putting himself in that realm where he was saying he's not close to being the greatest of all time. That's how the lady translated it, but I'm not sure if that's what he really meant to say. But
Mm,
he didn't say he was the greatest, but he was speaking it as if he were like in that realm to soon to be, or the greatest for this generation, or pound for pound. If pound for pound is if what they meant when they were translating from Japanese to English. Okay, this was in the post-fight interview inside the ring. So I don't know if he's really believing that. If I'm gonna take verbatim what the translator was saying, he's saying that he is an all-time great. And I was kind of like, is he really saying that? But anyways, as far as what's real, these fans that you were talking about was like a new breed that of like, I don't know, like, all these like kids from like this generation that are just not actual boxing fans, but they hopped onto the Inoue bandwagon.
mhm.
Yeah, but in reality, is he like a good fighter with this fight? Did he put himself up there? Well, not one, not two or three, but he holds his places maybe like number five. Like in the middle of the pack.
Yeah, man. Because like I said, I mean, he did win the tournament, even though he didn't fight. Tete dropping out sort of cast a little bit of doubt on the whole thing. But listen, Emmanuel Rodriguez, all the work he did, the work he's done prior to moving up to bantamweight, combined with the way he dismantled Payano, Rodriguez, and now this win over Donaire, which I don't see any controversy with the win. Do you? I mean, do you? I mean, the right guy won, or?
Yeah, the right guy won. There was a lot of questions surrounding his chin, and I think that did he proved to have a very solid, because he's a very determined fighter. When he's got his offense going, I think that same determination and grit that he shows allows him to stay in tough in the pocket to where he can receive a shot coming back. But he's got that unbreakable spirit.
Mm-hmm.
But now
But
there's
but
going to be questions surrounding his defense, to where they're going to say, oh, he'll still keep his chin up in the air, or not. Those are things he can improve. But he also showed to have like good leg movement, to where he can step around and and show to incorporate that into his fighting style, that he hasn't always exclusively have to resort to punching. He can box as well.
hmm By the way, let me just take a little bit of a time here because I wanna go back to that the whole footwork thing, but I gotta invite apology. So I'm gonna drop off from the call for 2 seconds, and that's it. But hold on a second. All right, I'm calling apology. Yeah, you're right. The leg movement, the foot movement, that was pretty good, man. I mean, I'm very impressed with him. That's what the thing. When people compare him to Pacquiao, he's got a little bit of Pacquiao in that footwork and the ability to spring in and out. He doesn't have those Asian legs, those Asian calves that we always talk about, those big Asian calves. But he does have good footwork, explosive footwork in and out, and I think that's when the Pacquiao comparisons do make a little bit of sense. And by the way, we got apology on the line. Apology, are you there?
Yes, hello. How's everyone doing?
Good, good. Thank you for being on, man. It's been a while. Did you manage to watch the fight, and what did you think of it?
I'll call it from the fifth round onwards, and
Tell
can
me
I
how.
say, what a hell of a fight? What a
Wait a
hell of
minute.
a fight, man.
Are you
I was on
pulling
the edge of my seat, back and forth.
apology? I gotta call you out on this. Why are you pulling a gypsy boxing style and watching missing the first couple of rounds of the fight?
Yeah, I was busy doing something, so,
All right.
life gets in the way sometimes.
Yeah, I gotcha. I gotcha. So you thought it was a good fight? Fight of the year or fight of the year
Yeah,
candidate so far?
oh, that's tough. But I think it's close to fight of the year, just because I think there was more chance of someone getting knocked out than in the Taylor Progress fight. Like, I was at the edge of my seat when these guys landed bombs. And we know these guys are big punchers as well. So whenever one of them landed, you got a sense that it could be over in a matter of seconds. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, this is fight of the year for me.
Yeah, that was the drama of this fight. It was One guy can, and in fact, I didn't expect Donaire to get hurt too much, but then it seemed like he got hurt. I think it was a sixth round or something like that. But then when he did get hurt later on in the 11th, it seemed to me like he was hurt more because he was wearing down a little bit from a stamina standpoint, and not so much that Donaire was or that Inoue was wearing him down with his shots. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. It's like, well, the knockdown, he kind of like walked away, then collapsed on the floor. So it was like exhaustion plus the damage he took.
Yeah, that was just a well placed body shot, and let's talk about that body shot a little bit because some people are saying that. I mean, the ref did kind of screw it up a little bit in there, didn't he?
Yeah, but it didn't really matter in the end. It's not like Donaire came back and knocked him out. It wasn't like too controversial. So yeah, the referee fucked up, but at the end of the day, it's just a minute thing.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. Like that's what I said earlier. I said, like, okay, technically the ref did screw up, but it didn't screw things up too much. But it was just weird seeing Donaire start like it looked like as if he stubbed his toe against the couch. You know when that happens when you stub your toe against the couch, you go fucking, you just try to walk it off. That's what it looked like, and the ref jumped in front. Yeah, the ref jumped in front of Inoue, and Donaire hadn't even gone down yet. He went down a couple of seconds afterwards, but yeah, the ref kind of screwed up. Sorry, Gonzalo, you were gonna say something?
No, yeah, just laughing, but that's funny. Yeah, when you stub your toe on a piece of furniture. But in the end, he kind of pulled what's like that referee that called the Deontay Wilder Fury fight,
Jack Reese,
to where I thought the guy counted out, in the 9th second. He allowed the guy to continue, which I kind of give him props to him for that in the end.
Yeah, even Inoue was watching, and he even said, "Oh, when he got to 9, he thought he was gonna get to 10." And then Donaire got up just in time. I actually thought, maybe you guys correct me. Tell me what you think. But didn't it look like maybe Donaire wasn't gonna get up? It seemed like he was gonna stay down for a full 10 count.
Yeah, he did, but credit for him for getting up. If he has the heart of a lion. It was like, let me see this out at least. If you think about it, it was the 11th round. Might as well go another 12. Might as well go the full 12.
Yeah, Donaire's got balls, man. Tons of respect for that guy. Tons of respect. And very smart decision where he said, you know what? It takes a little bit of work, but I can get down to 118. Let me get down there and show these young guns what a Filipino is all about, a Filipino power puncher. By the way, speaking of Filipino, yeah. I mentioned the Asian calves. The Fight Scout says Japanese aren't the same as farmer-type Asians, BDA Boxing. Well, listen, I don't know about the farmer types, but it is true that Thai boxers and Filipino boxers tend to have bigger calves. I don't know what it is with that genetically. I mean, I understand some of them are kickboxers or Muay Thai guys, but as far as I know, Pacquiao was never into that, and he's got some huge freaking calves. What was the other guy's name?
Well,
yeah.
Okay. Well, it could be. It's probably his genetic. It's also to do with what they do as they for like work and stuff. Like Pacquiao likes basketball, and to be good to jump, you need your calves. If you ever try to jump without your calves, that's what propels you up in the air. So that's what maybe one of the reasons why he has good calves. It's what they do. It's not just like what their like profession is. So like maybe working in the field, jumping, picking up weights and stuff like that. That requires your calves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's natural. It's natural because from what I've seen, the women also are like that.
Yeah, we know
that about the men, but I'm not going to be calves all day.
Yeah, we know.
Gonzalo, the calf hunter.
Yeah. Gonzalo has the photographic evidence to back all that up. He's got a folder complete with the photographs, video, statistics, the whole 9 yards. But
and he, at the end, he gives a rating out of 10. This calf's the 6 out of 10.
The calf, he calls it the calf meter. The calf meter. But it's true.
Exactly.
I mean, it's true. I can count. Listen, you had, first of all, Pacquiao's brother, too. Well, I forgot the guy's name. He had big ass calves, too. Bobby Pacquiao. Yeah, thank you. He had big ass calves. Pong Salik, Won Jong Kam, the great, I think he was a junior bantamweight champ or even lower. He had big calves. What was the other guy's name? Concepcion. Not Luis Concepcion. It was some other Filipino fighter from a couple of years ago that a lot of people were saying he was going to be the next Pacquiao. He's got big calves. So, and I mean, I could just go on and on with all these fighters with the big ass calves. So, I know some people say the BDA is always obsessed with calves, but I'll tell you why I'm obsessed with calves is because it's the hardest muscle to develop, according to some. And genetically, I do not have big calves. I come from a line of lean, mean Mexicans, and we don't have the greatest calves. Although my father does have big ass calves. I don't know why I didn't inherit those, but everybody else in
Well,
my family,
and the
yeah,
and the calf is the base of your punch. So if you think about it, to plant your feet, you need your calves. So
right.
when people plant their feet down, it goes from the calf to the leg to the core, and then it ends at the hand. So that's the base. If you have good calves, usually you're a big puncher.
You know who else had good calves? Nothing compared to Pacquiao's type, but Miguel Cotto. Miguel Cotto had some decent calves, especially when he was at 140. He seemed to have bigger legs than a lot of these other guys, and
Yeah.
he had a lot of power. Now, speaking of calves, this is going to turn into the BDA calf show, as it always does. I'm just going to show you guys what I'm talking about when it comes to Pacquiao's calves. I mean, this is just insane. Hold on a second. I'm going to put it up on the screen there. I mean, just look at those calves. I mean, that's genetic. I mean, that's, I don't know how you could. Somebody, if you can get calves like that by doing some sort of exercise, somebody please tell me how, because I got to develop my calves. Look at that. And there's a video saying how you can improve. See this? How to get bigger and stronger calves. How? You tell me how. Fucking cocksuckers.
Just do jumping and explosive work. Because like I said, to jump, you have to use your calves.
Like plyometrics you're talking about, or
Yeah, anything that requires you to jump or use your calves. So like when you're on your tippy toes, from to get from flat foot to your tippy toes, that requires your calves. So if you do that and put some weight on your like shoulders and do that exercise, that will help your calves. And like explosive jumping movement or like even sprints, because when you're sprinting, you lift your foot in the air, you drop it back down, and you push off. That also requires your calves.
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that. It's I like to. Well, I don't like to do it, but I do it often, which is the running up and down stairs. Gotta get back to that. Gotta get back to that, and
Yeah, that will
hopefully,
help.
yeah. Now I will say that I've been using the bike. What's it called? The stationary bike. I've been doing that because I bought one about a year and a half ago, and I've been on that one on the regular, and I do see a
The
little bit more.
elliptical.
Yeah, so yeah. Well, it's not an elliptical. It's just a recumbent bike, and it's and I do have noticed my legs getting a little bit bigger. And I used to squat and deadlift a lot before, and I never really saw much of a difference. Anyway, listen, people are saying that this is Brick is saying BDA is salivating, talking about calves. Uh, Lourdes Batista says calf races, simplest thing. Saint Brit asks who is the skinniest in the chat. Body Aces says let's look at his calves when he was in his 20s. G Boogie says when you are doing sprints, you are on your toes. You are on your toes and do not lower your heel down. But there is more of a possibility to have shin splints. Gangsta says having big and strong calves leads to high vertical jumps. Triple JJJ
Yep.
says running. There you go. Triple JJJ says running up and down stairs because the police are chasing you. BDA. One here says I think it's genetic because most boxers skip rope, but not all have Pac-Man calves. Yeah, it's genetic to a certain extent too. I mean, it's
I mean, you can have strong calves, but not like big calves. So because your calf is big doesn't mean like you're strong. It's like 6 packs and 8 packs and stuff like that.
mhm.
So part of it's genetic, but you still have a good core and have a little flab on it.
It's like not all Filipinos have big legs because Nonito Donaire, he's got skinny legs, and I even think his wife had him do a plyometrics when he first met him.
I see.
But
Yeah, because some of these fighters they look like they have female calves compared to Pacquiao. I mean, Pacquiao just puts all of these guys to shame. Now, speaking of, I told you that Cotto had good calves himself. Here's a photo of Cotto sparring. You can sort of see his legs there a little bit, and here's another picture of Cotto sparring. I thought these photos, I thought these photos were photoshopped at first, but somebody confirmed that they are indeed real. I don't know why he was wearing that attire, but good for him. Look at it. He's
Yeah, you never know.
hey, listen, he's comfortable in his own skin. You gotta give him gotta give him credit for that. All right, listen, sticking to the staying away a little bit from the calves. Let's go back to Inoue versus Donaire, because now that Inoue has won this fight, who do you guys want to see him fight? Would you like to see him fight Tete first or Luis Neri?
Well, Neri, he can't fight in Japan, correct?
Right, yeah, he's banned from there.
So I don't know how the Japanese people, well, what they would advise him as far as taking that fight. I don't know. As far as him, because well, it's like he's a powerful guy. He's strong. You know, he's kind of like a villain. He's kind of quiet. You know, he's although he's a good fighter, he's not very popular. He's been when he was training in TJ, he did what he wanted. He had problems, and I think he went with Freddie Rhodes, but then he moved on to somewhere else now. So he's bouncing back and forth, can't find his place. So I don't know what the deal is with his career. I don't think you're a big fan of him either, BDA. And I'm from Tijuana, and he's from there. So like, I'm not a big fan of him either. But there's other fighters. But that division is not too stacked. You know, like I think somebody was saying.
No, you're right. It's yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say real fast that Tete guy is also very inactive. He's unpredictable as well.
Well, you know what? It's interesting because what's his name? Donaire. I mean, Neri has certain common opponents. He common opponent with Donaire was Payano, and Neri did take him out in 9 rounds. The thing about Neri is he's a very like I was talking about Burchelt a couple of episodes ago. Skills don't always pay the bills. It's about power. It's about tenacity, and at the end of the day, sometimes it's about balls. And Neri has that type of style where he just doesn't give a fuck. He will go after you. He's willing to take shots to land his own. He's a southpaw. He's a bit of a volume puncher. His defense ain't all that bad. Then you combine that with the fact that he's willing to do anything, and I mean anything, to get the win. I'm talking about supplements outside of the ring, not making weight, etc., etc. I think he's a problem for most people, man. And like I said, he's a body puncher. And I knew it. I don't. Yeah, go ahead.
So what did Neri do? Why is he banned from Japan?
Gonzalo, you maybe know more about that than I do, because I don't want to get any details wrong. I don't want to get sued for libel or anything.
Well, I really don't, other than the fact that he missed weight 2 times and he tested positive for clenbuterol, right?
Well, you know what? Let's when in doubt, let's check Wikipedia. I got my attorney Rayful Shapiro on speed dial in case anything goes down. So I think we should be okay. But let's just go to Wikipedia and see what Luis Neri allegedly did. Okay. Although this was happened, apology, against Yamanaka. This was Shinshunki Yamanaka. This is where it all went wrong for Neri. So this was in 2017, and he won in the fourth round stoppage. It was seen by an audience of over 7 million in Japan, and then it was reported after the fight that Neri tested positive for zilpaterol. See, that's the thing. If you're going to test positive for something, it's got to be that zilpaterol, my favorite, a banned substance. The sample that tested positive was taken on July the 27th, with 3 samples that were taken in August tested negative. Neri claimed that he had failed the drug test due to food contamination, that pesky food contamination. After Neri's B sample confirmed the result, the ring reinstated Yamanaka as their bantamweight champion. The WBC was expected to make a decision regarding the bantamweight title in the future. So right off the bat, that's the first fight. Okay, and then the WBC in October ruled on Neri's positive test. The sanctioning body concluded that the positive test was due to contaminated food. So the WBC, the Mexican organization, ended up ruling in favor of Luis the Mexican Assassin Neri. Consequently, the result of the Yamanaka-Neri fight wouldn't be overturned, but the WBC ordered a rematch. Now, of course, they got to get those sanctioning fees, right? Neri versus Yamanaka 2. Neri was once again successful in the rematch, claiming a victory with a second-round TKO. From the outset, Yamanaka attempted blah, blah, blah. The following round was more... okay, so they don't mention here... Oh, yeah, here we go. Ultimately, Neri weighed in 3 pounds over the bantamweight limit. and the title was only at stake for Yamanaka, and it now remains vacant. So he fucked Yamanaka up twice. One time he tested positive, and the other he didn't make weight. So there is a big asterisk for those victories because technically Nery had advantages going in there, and I'm
There's
still
no
not sure.
reason to like ban him. Like, I mean, I don't know. That seems a bit harsh, especially when you got a big fight on the table, a big unification, well, not unification, but a
Right.
big fight in the future.
Well, I'll tell you this. Apology. If I were Luis Neri, I would not step foot in Japan because I saw that movie, the Martin Scorsese movie Silence, where those Portuguese priests go to Japan circa 17th or 16th century, I believe. Some of the torture that the Japanese were inflicting on the Christian missionaries, I can see them inflicting it on Luis Neri if he ever decides to step into Japan. So I think he's going to stay away from Japan. The only way I see him going into Japan is with a band, an army of cartel Mexican drug dealers. Other than that, he's in trouble. So, but you're right. I mean, it might be a little bit harsh, but apology. Let's keep things into perspective. The guy cheated twice. The Japanese are not very fond of the fact that he fucked up their fighter, and he did so through cheating. So here's the article from Bad Left
So,
Hook. All right, hold on a second. Yeah, this is just real quick, just to get official confirmation of what happened. Luis Neri is officially persona non grata in the Japanese boxing scene. ESPN is reporting the Japanese Boxing Commission has officially suspended Luis Neri indefinitely for blowing the limit so badly in his mandated rematch. So I suppose it's because of how he went about blowing that weigh-in. Or Neri originally weighed in at 123. Apology, 123, 5 full pounds over the limit, and he only managed to get down to 121 with a little extra time. I think it was the fact also that he didn't even try really that much. I mean, 3 pounds over the limit. And you got to keep in mind, this is after having cheated in the first fight.
Yeah, so you cheat, then the Japanese want to like clear it up to where they want to get their belt back. Then he flies all the way to Japan to do a weigh-in the day before, and it's not like they're gonna cancel the fight and say we're gonna try to get somebody else. So he disappointed the Japanese people over there.
That's right. Yeah, you don't want to disappoint the Japanese.
I
All
mean,
right.
can't they have the fight in America then?
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. See, that's why. But now that's up to Inoue and his team and whether they want to fight Luis Neri outside of the Japan because even when they fought Nieves and that was in the United States, he seemed to have given off the impression that he wasn't all that keen on returning to the United States. He wasn't desperate to return to the United States. You got to keep in mind. Look at the crowd that they had at the Saitama Super Arena today. It was quite a crowd. The guy can make his own bucks over there in Japan. He's not dependent upon the United States and the North American market for that type
Well,
of.
if you want to be a pound for pound fighter, you should fight in other people's hometown or away from home, like
That's it.
other fighters do, like Usyk and Lomachenko.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a very good point. And to his credit, he has fought in the United States, and he did fight Rodriguez in Scotland, I believe. Was it Scotland? When he fought on the undercard of Taylor versus Baranchik, that was outside of Japan. So, but you're right. I mean, look at Lomachenko. He went over to England against Campbell. He didn't have to do that. He could have fought in New York or Las Vegas or LA, where he's got a bit of good following. No, he decided to go over to Luke Campbell's home yard, backyard, hometown, and said, "Listen, I'll beat you here. I'll beat you anywhere." That's why I respect Lomachenko more than anybody, than most other fighters. That's why I have him as my pound for pound number one fighter.
Yeah, I think that with those lower weight divisions at 118, 115, those even the lower weight classes, 112 and 108, they make more money in Japan because like most of the people in that side of the world they're like smaller, to where there's more of a competition along the fighters are in that size,
Mm-hmm. That's a
Sorry,
good
excuse
point.
me.
That's all right.
I'll be back.
Yeah, just mute your mic, please, so that we don't hear any shenanigans going on in the background. Let's apology. Let's go to the chat room real quick and see what people are saying. Jay Perez, shout out to Jay Perez. His fight was really good. Respect to Donaire. Lourdes Batista says Dr. 805 said muscles don't mess with skills in the ring. I agree. Look at Holyfield, Tyson, and others. Why do trainers articulate it like it's a fact? Oh, hold on a second. Chris K just donated via the super chat. Shout out to Chris K. And he says Donaire took a dive against Diva Inoue. And then he does a little bit of a smiley face. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think Donaire took a dive against Inoue. He gave it his all. Shout out to Chris K, aka Undercover Asian, for his contribution. Triple JJJ says Saint Brit, the skater kid, isn't in here. He had to get back early, pack his lunch, and catch the shore bus. Who are you talking about? The skater kid? Fight Scout says, apology, man. It's not harsh. That's how Asians do it. I don't know why he's talking about apology. What's he talking about?
He's talking about
ban.
Oh,
he's
ban.
talking about. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, we understood. And by the way, Johnny M in the chat room says when Vargas and Martinez get popped with sense of clenbuterol, they're still good to go. When White is cleared from VAD and USADA, though, he's got to be cut from mandatory status. That's something that I wanted to talk about. That came out, I think, about a day ago or 2 days ago. Rey Vargas, one of the top 122 pounders in the world, just got popped with clenbuterol in his system, and the WBC, from what I'm hearing, will not be sanctioned. Not sanctioning, but yeah, there won't be any sanctions. The tests were done by the Voluntary Anti-Doping Association, but the WBC said that the amounts of clenbuterol were so small that no action was taken. I would like to get Dr. 805 Precise or Jimmy or somebody else who's more knowledgeable in this, because I do remember the narrative going into the Canelo clenbuterol gate saga was that the amounts of clenbuterol were small, but that meant that he had probably been injecting that crap way beforehand, and a miscalculation when it came to the process left those traces in there. Let's see what they're saying. They're saying the amounts found in the test are not sufficient to register any performance-enhancing benefit, that WBC said. The muscle-forming drug is commonly found in many meat products throughout Mexico. Yeah, the soccer players that got caught with that also said the same thing, I believe. Both Vargas and Canelo. Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, the main point people were saying in the Canelo gate, clenbuterol gate, was that the reason why Canelo got caught is because he mistimed the cycle. And it's probably the same thing here. Like, obviously, it's trace amounts that won't help him from this point on, but he was probably on clenbuterol before, and it's just cycled off, but you mistimed it. So that's why they're trace amounts.
And by the way, apology, didn't they say, what the hell is that? Didn't they say that the reason why, that in order to have small traces of clenbuterol in your system because of meat consumption, wouldn't you have to eat a whole bunch of meat for it to stay in your system, or am I wrong in that?
Yeah, I think Precise said you have to eat like a whole cow. I think it was exaggerating, but like you have to eat a lot of meat for it to stay in your system, else you'll just like screw it out.
Well, there you go. So listen, there's definitely something wrong. And here's the other thing: soccer, aka football, which is the most popular sport in Mexico other than boxing. Those fighters, those players. Now, maybe somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it was clenbuterol that they got caught with in their system. Some of them, and they went with the meat defense. Canelo, the biggest boxing star in the world and the biggest Mexican boxing star in the world as well, gets caught with that. Wouldn't you, as a fighter or as an athlete, stop consuming that type of meat and maybe spend a little bit more money to have exclusive meat flown from somewhere else, if you know you're gonna get popped supposedly with that shit in your system?
I mean,
I can kind of.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, apology. I'll get in after you.
Thanks. Well, for certain fights you can understand because Mexico is not the richest country, but for Canelo, he gets paid multi-millions, and he should have his meat checked, his supplements checked. He have like a personal nutritionist who gets his meat like prime, ready cut from like the best shops or best stores. Like you shouldn't be eating like meat that probably has clenbuterol in it.
Exactly. Gonzalo, you were gonna say something?
I could kind of see it both ways, to where his trainers are butchers, okay, to where they would know that there is clenbuterol in, like, I don't know, maybe a few of the states, which is more prevalent than others in Mexico, to know where they're gonna get their meat from or import it from somebody else. But at the same time, look, I'm from Tijuana. When I'm down there, I go to the local taco stands because them tacos there are the best, okay? People are not going to go get buy meat to make their own tacos. They're gonna go to the tacos that are renowned for having that special flavor, to where they're just ordinary street tacos, and that flavor tastes better than what you can buy for much more money any other places. It's just some of them, like, people just do that.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Okay, so yeah, so you're saying the tacos that taste better are
Yeah,
the
like
one,
rich people at Tijuana will still go down to the local street taco stand. You know, that's
right?
basically just a couple of pieces of plyboard set up to where it looks like a rinky dinky hole in the wall type of taco stand, but that's where they have the best tasting tacos in town. To
Right.
where some of these people, when they get monies, they make like big restaurants, and they don't get near the same amount of people they used to get when they were like in their humble beginnings.
I see. That's interesting. So it's like when those New York lawyers go down to the hot dog stands over in New York.
Yeah, no, it's Pete doesn't believe me, but this is the truth. This is just the way it is in TJ.
Well, let's get
With
Pete in here.
with the tacos. Yeah.
Let's get
I
yeah. Let's
mean,
get.
that's the way it is. Oh, good.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Apology.
That's the way it is around the world. Like everyone likes the street food taste for some reason. I know I do once in a while.
You know what it is? It's the food combined with the exhaust from cars. I mean, I think that gives it that extra zest that you just can't get anywhere else. We got Pete in here. Pete, what's your issue with what Gonzalo's saying?
That's not what Gonzalo's saying, but I mean,
Don't
all
backtrack now. Come
due
on.
respect.
No, and,
Well,
and
coming
by all
clear.
means, I'm not saying that
Oh.
this meat has clenbuterol in it. I'm just saying that if that's the story they're saying, I mean, that's just about the street tacos. But I'm not saying that it does or doesn't have clenbuterol. I don't know.
Hey, I'm sorry, guys. Can you hear me clearly? Because I'm not on Wi-Fi, so. I don't
Yeah, we can. I mean, yeah, we
with
can
the
hear a
show.
little bit of a background noise, but we can hear what you're saying.
All right. Hey, listen. But all due respect, Gonzalo, is that what you're eating when you're on a damn training table? When you're on the when you're in a training camp, you're going to the goddamn
Taco
the
stand.
roach coach.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Pete, to be fair,
Yeah.
loads of fighters have eating disorders, so they probably eat a lot of shit, even during
What
training
happened?
camps.
Say
I
what?
said fighters have eating disorders. Most fighters have eating disorders, so they probably eat a lot of crap, even during
But-
training camp.
Well, I don't know.
No
I
way.
think this was before the training camp, right?
Well, I'm talking training camp before, like in general. Like a lot
I
of
guess
fighters
they
have
count
eating
them in
disorders,
yeah.
so they
Prior
eat
to-
a lot
yeah.
of like crap.
Well, whose
Okay.
fault is that,
All
though?
I'm saying is you got a guy that walks around. I'm just going to give it just this is not about Canelo, but I mean just as an example, you got a guy that walks around in between fights 20 pounds heavier than his fighting weight. You got a guy that goes into a training camp and slowly whittles down and might weigh in 15 pounds heavier than his fighting weight. So you got a guy that cannot afford to be walking around even in a during a layoff period, even in between fights when he's not in camp. How many goddamn street tacos can you afford to eat when you are having to shed so much weight twice a year? There's just no
yeah,
fucking way. And he's the top and he's the top. He's one of the top guys in the sport. Shit, these guys got
but
training.
yeah, but but Canelo, no, it's not about. I was just saying that the people that tell the story about the street tacos, that's just my perspective on why maybe like a person that has money or not would still go eat to that one place, because they enjoy them. But with Canelo, I really don't know. I don't care, man. It's like, yeah, he
I mean, I
tested
understand if
positive.
it's a
He's
if it's a little treat, if it's a little cheat day type of thing. But I mean, these guys can't consume unless they're a heavyweight. I guess these guys can't even be consuming that amount of food in order
You'll be
to
surprised,
spark off
Pete.
No, I really wouldn't.
You'll be
Oh,
surprised.
no, yeah,
Like,
obviously you need
fighters,
your train. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, buddy.
like fighters will just eat crap and then shed off the weight during the fight week. Like go in saunas, just shed off any way they can, instead of doing it the right way, because they have eating disorders.
Mm-hmm. Well, listen.
Yeah, you're right, but I'm saying I don't know that a top level guy like Canelo is really ballooning up to, he's not really boiling down the day before the fight. I don't think he's doing it like that. I think
Yeah,
he's
I agree
taking a more
with you, Pete.
controlled
I'm
approach
just
to it. You know.
yeah, I agree with you,
I,
Pete. But
Yeah,
I'm
yeah. I
just
hear
giving a
you.
different perspective.
No. I hear you,
I
man.
really hate the fucking Canelo talk, man. That shit's fucking draining. I hate talking about that motherfucker,
Yeah,
man.
we talked enough about Canelo. Let's move. I mean, listen, we had a sensational fight today between Inoue
Oh, I
and
was more
Donaire.
talking about Nery, to be honest with you, like just the
I was
PED
just
thing.
talking about the tacos, how they taste, and why people will still go eat them regardless if they had
Well,
blood.
the
Gonzalo,
reason why
fucking
we
love the
get you like
tacos, man.
tacos. You like
the
Yeah, I
tacos,
love
we
them
get
too, man.
Gonzalo.
Shout
uh,
out to
uh,
all the fucking food trucks.
I might have some today.
by the
Yeah.
way, by the way, yeah, shout out to all the pizzas. Shout out to all the food, all the food trucks out there. Yeah, making a living, making the world a better place. I wanted to say, don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Spread the BDA gospel. Really appreciate you guys listening. But wanted to talk about also the. So it wasn't just Ray Vargas that got caught. It was also Julio Cesar Martinez, a flyweight. And according to the article, it says that Francisco Vargas, I had forgotten about that. He had also been caught with clenbuterol in his system. So now we got 4 Mexican fighters in total, maybe others that we have overlooked, who have been caught with clenbuterol. At the end of the day, guys, if you're a Mexican fighter, okay, maybe I know it's expensive and all that, but maybe try to avoid eating meat from fucking taco stands. I mean, come on, it's easy enough to do. And so that's that. The WBC will not be doing anything about it. They'll keep him going because they say, well, it's a they're giving him a pass essentially, giving him a pass. So speaking of 122 pounds, though, we talked about Inoue. We talked about him being pretty good fighter. His defense, okay, it's got holes, but he did just beat the best fighter. If he doesn't get a fight with Nery, who seems to be with the PBC, I believe, and let's say he does beat Tete, whatever. Can we agree that maybe 122 pounds will be his ceiling based on how he had to go to war against Nonito Donaire here?
I think so. I think he, in fact, should move down if he clears the division. Because if he moves up and gets caught with those shots that Daenerys was catching him, he's going to get knocked out.
Well, you know what? Apology. He was catching him, but well, tell me a fighter in a fight like this, it's not going to take punches. They're all going to take shots back. And he showed to have a good chin. And we decided to box. He seemed pretty elusive to where, he wasn't only throwing that left hook. He was surprising Donito with the right hook. And
Definitely.
that body shot was real sneaky and well placed to where, man, the guy got skills. He can get his punches even when he's getting attacked. He's got good offense, and that's always been his defense. But can he improve? Yes. Is this his ceiling? Yeah, he could probably still make 115 as well. To where 120, 122 is the division up. Yeah, that seems like he'd be a little too small.
What did they fight at today, guys?
Isn't
118? What did they
118,
fight
yeah.
today? 118?
118. I mean, 122 has Navarrete, doesn't it? And he's like tall, lean. Like, I don't see Inoue doing too good against Navarrete.
Yeah, you got 2 tall dudes at 122, Ray Vargas and Emmanuel Navarrete. On top of that, you got Daniel Roman. You have, Isaac Dugboe is going to be taking on, or did he already take on Carl Frampton? When's he supposed to take on Carl Frampton?
He is going to, yes.
Is he still going to? Hold on, let me check. Turns to what the heck? Former. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. I wrote Isaac Dugboe on the Google, and I'm trying to check if they got that Carl Frampton fight all set up. And according to BoxRec, it is not yet set. But I did go on GhanaWeb.com. You always got to go to GhanaWeb.com in the morning, and it says former World WBO champ. Former WBO champ Isaac Dugboe turns to crowdfunding to reclaim the title. Former WBO champ blah 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 has turned to crowdfunding to finance his bid to reclaim the world title. Dugboe, who signed a long-term promotional contract with Bob Arum's Top Rank in 2018, has not fought since suffering back-to-back losses to WBO super champ Emmanuel Navarrete. He is now looking to raise $10,000 in over 60 days on popular Canadian sports crowdfunding site Make a Champ. Dugboe, 24, is offering sponsorship opportunities and signed items in exchange for funds received. To excel, I need to constantly push my limits, Dugboe said. I have put my heart and soul into my craft and I am ready to work extra hard, but at the same time, I know that the road to success will be costly. By supporting me today, you are investing in something bigger than just a fundraiser. That's right. You are changing my life. Thank you for your generous support. All right. Is this a little
Yeah, that sounds like a lottery scam to me, man. I got an email
it's like
like that one time. Yeah, but
you
I
know
don't understand. It's a Canadian group that's raising the funds
you know
for
it's a website like what's the other website that does this too? It's
Kickstart or whatever.
Kickstarter. Yeah. So
Kickstarter, like,
yeah,
yeah.
but I mean it's not a Canadian organization that's doing this just for him. It's sort of like it's like Kickstarter. Anybody can start their own campaign on that.
And so you're reading this on Ghana Web.
GhanaWeb.com. Yes.
I haven't checked that website in a long time. I need to put that back in my favorites.
but
Oh, Africa.
but Virtuoso in the
You,
chat.
Uh,
Yeah.
Go ahead,
you
guys.
see, when a fighter talks like him about his heart and soul, it's when that tells me that he's never these some guys are not really seeking to improve because the guy got balls, the guy has talent, but he's not willing to like do anything different to like change up his game because he got heart. The fact that he have heart wasn't what for the reasons that he lost. Similar to guys like Eubank Jr., that their fathers are training him. Similar to Dog Boy, they don't want to accept what's wrong with them really, and they always want to blame it on something else. So you can't really improve if you can't identify the problem.
hmm Yeah, that's true. I mean, remember we had corruption in boxing a couple of months ago. He had inside information. He said in regards to that camp, and he said that Dogbo's father, who also happens to be his trainer, might not be the best fit to lead Dogbo's career. It seemed like there was some stalling. It seemed like there was some stagnation when it came to training methods and skills. And you can certainly you saw that against Navarrete, who's a tough fighter, but the decision to jump right in there with him, and now they're saying that they want to jump right in with Carl Frampton at 122. It seems like they don't know how to pull him back, and they just want to put him in there against the most hard, the difficult opposition. And the fact that he's going out off after crowdfunding, isn't he getting paid to train by Top Rank? Is he not with Top Rank anymore? I mean, what's going on here?
I mean, a couple of things. Number one, sometimes a guy just might be at the end of his limitations of his abilities too. I mean, in other words, any trainer, any strength and conditioning coach, any change in the staff is just not going to yield a better result than what you're getting right now. So it's tough to just say, well, that's number one. Sometimes the guy's just at the end of at the limitation of his abilities. It seemed like he was just overmatched and outsized and outpunched and outstrengthed and pretty much just outclassed in his last two fights. Right?
Right.
This is Neho, right? This is the guy with the Neho
That's right.
slogan. Yeah. So that's number one. Number two, it's hard to just because it's his dad. Any trainer that's taken a guy from nobody to the place where we all see him, all right, it's very tough just to tell that guy to get the fuck out of the way and let a better trainer jump in there, because where were all of us and where was this new and improved trainer when this guy was 0-0 trying to make his name? I'm trying to say. So I understand that sometimes you can get some asymmetric loyalty to a father-son type of team, but it's less about the father and son and more about that's the trainer that got him here. So I can't blame him for not being ready to step aside after two losses.
Yeah.
And thirdly, the funding thing. Yeah, you're right. If he's promoted, well, I mean, shit, man, this guy. I don't understand what the Kickstarter thing's about. It's like,
Well, unless he's not
Yeah.
being promoted anymore by Top Rank, which I assume might be. But if he's being promoted by Top Rank, he's still asking for $10,000. This sounds like a Nigerian scam. Go ahead, Gonzalo.
Well, it's kind of funny. Like he's got two losses to where he's taking a tough fight. Why wouldn't he take a tune-up? Is he looking to get a big payday? And it's really about the money. No, he's a good fighter. To where people were saying, he was outsized. Basically, his ceiling is that the fact that he's only like 5'2" tall,
Hmm.
fighting taller guys. To where he was undefeated before these two fights against this one guy, and he was also beating undefeated fighters. So he's quality, but just basically bad management, and it's better to chalk up the losses. If you can't beat one guy, just go ahead and move on and try to look for other fights. But jumping into another tough fight against an experienced fighter like the Jackal, I don't know about that. Probably want to take some tune-ups.
Yeah,
But I guess they're
And that
desperate
really,
for big
that part I
paydays. Yeah.
understand. That part I understand. Yeah, that the promoter's gonna offer him a fight if they can make money. If they can make money on the card, on the event, by having him on the card, they're going to offer him a fight, and a big one at that, and a tough one at that. But it's up to his management to do what's best for the fighter. You know what I'm saying? It's a matchmaking thing where the management's got to say, no, we want to tune up, or no. Now, if Top Rank's telling them, listen, which I can't imagine, but if Top Rank's telling them, listen, it's either the Jackal or we're not paying, we're not interested in having you on the card.
yeah,
Just
Morning,
to
fellas.
step back up.
yeah.
Johnny,
You're
what's
right
up,
about
Johnny?
that, man.
And it's not that he can't beat him. It's because you got to gain confidence with the win to get you back on the winning column.
Yeah, but this guy was coming up as one of the brightest stars in boxing in terms of talent and skills, and all of a sudden he loses twice, and they're throwing him in there against Frampton right away. It just seems, I don't know if it's like Pete saying that they want to get the whole team wants to get the most money and get him in there with the best fights possible right away, or if maybe it's Doug Bowen who wants this. Maybe he's the one that's putting his foot down, saying "fuck tune-ups, I want to fight the best. I know I can beat him." So I don't know, but by the way, we got Johnny Boy. Johnny, we got Johnny on the hangout here. How you doing, Johnny?
What's up, buddy? How you
Hey.
doing? What we talking? What are we talking about? Dog bait? I'm still fucking. I just had to take my cats to the vet. I'm still watching the fucking Donaire and Inoue shit here. I'm in round 6. I'm watching with the sound off because the commentary's in Jap, so that But and when and let me tell you, so when I say Jap, I don't mean that as a fucking racial slur. This is short nickname.
I see.
Hey, Johnny, you like that fight, don't you? That's a good fight.
Oh fuck yeah! I'm in round 6. I wasn't awake, dude. I gotta work 9 hours today. I just found out my dad's got fucking lung cancer. I'm not fucking waking up at no goddamn 4 o'clock in the fucking morning. Fuck out of here.
It wasn't
When we
for.
Oh, sorry, BDA.
Well, it wasn't. It wasn't 4 in the morning. By the way, my condolences for. I mean, condolences. He's not dead, but I mean, he listen. Lung cancer. It's hopefully he gets out of it. Your father seems like a strong dude, and hopefully he's taking this like a man, staring it in the face, saying "fuck you." But hopefully he gets out of that. Our prayers are with him. Come on, people in the chat. On the power of prayer, it does work. Don't let those Richard Dawkins hard materialist reductionists get you down. Prayer does work. So send a couple of prayers over to Johnny Boy's father. You said father or uncle?
Father.
Yeah, there you go. Send a couple of prayers his way.
You remember who's the old man on Boardwalk Empire? Al Capone's uncle. Johnny Torrio. That's my pops. That guy.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. He fucking what's it called there? But what are we on a brighter note? What are we talking about here? Dog Bay?
Well, we're talking about Doug Bowe. Apparently, he's on a Kickstarter type campaign. I said not. It's not really Kickstarter. It's another Canadian website, and he's trying to raise $10,000 for his training camp. And we're talking about what the heck is going on with him, that he needs to be raising money if he's supposed to be with Top Rank, unless Top Rank dropped him. So, I mean, I don't know what's going on here. And by the way, I also read right now, Ryan Garcia is also starting a Kickstarter campaign, but it's not Kickstarter. it's on gaycamps.com. And he says, in order to get to the next level in my training and in my career, I want all of you to come along with me. And you can do so by donating via gaycamps.com. I will be posting special packages. $10 you get a pic, $20 you get a dick pic, and $30 you get the whole enchilada. So there you go. That's what he's saying. $30 is the maximum that he's asking for, and he will send you pics. I know. I already got my $30 reserved. What about you guys?
Yeah. And BDA,
I know. Listen, I know. Ryan Garcia has millions of followers on Grindr. Okay, his fucking, he makes what Amir Khan did look like a fucking Disney movie. You understand? He's fucking waving his pecker all over Grindr, or what pecker? What am I talking? He's waving his ovaries all over Grindr.
All right, Johnny boy, why do you gotta bring the show down with your expletives and your crass comments?
You're
Come
gonna
on,
trigger
Johnny.
BDA now. You're gonna trigger BDA.
Yeah, you're gonna trigger me,
Go
man.
off on Ryan
Speaking of, yeah, speaking of the somebody in the chat room says Don the Man says BDA, didn't you tell us that this was gonna be a split decision? Let's pull up the Butcher. I know you're listening. Can you fax me the predictions that people made for this fight? Because I'm pretty sure I said unanimous decision by Inoue, but I don't want to speak out of school here. I want to get it 100% right. So, Butcher, if you could send me maybe a list, or I don't know how we can put it up here. Fax me the list. I got my fax ready here. All right. So what we was gonna say? Oh yeah. So essentially, we're talking about Dog Boy. Essentially, we're talking about Dog Boy. Wouldn't that be a good little fight, Dog Boy versus Inoue?
Yeah, hell yeah, I'm down. Fucking. Well, I mean, see, here's the thing. There's so much fucking talent in that between 115, 118, and 122. You know, you can go up, down, or somewhere in between, and there's a fight there for him. You know what I mean? Like, it's, you know, because down south you got Estrada and all them guys, and then up north you got Navarrete and Dog Bay and all these dudes. So there's fights to be made for the kid. There ain't no question about it.
Yep. There are more fights at 122 than 118, because at 118 you got Tete, you got what's his name, Luis Neri, who has to get past Rodriguez. I'm not sure he really does get past that one. By the way, here are the hold on a second. Here are the predictions. So we had, okay, let me just, how do I get this bigger here? Hold on a second. I can't see that. Bucho, can you sort of, okay, so Pete said Inoue stoppage 5th round. All right, Pete, you can leave now, by the way. You can leave this Discord hangout. Recognize said
Bye, sayonara. I started a trend there though. I just pulled that out of my ass. I really didn't know much about this fight, the matchup. I just
don't make
spitball that.
excuses.
But look what I did though. Read the rest of the predictions. It started a fucking fire.
All right. Recognize Inoue stoppage 7th. All right. Recognize is no longer allowed in here as well. Dead Game said Inoue stoppage 5th round. Chris said Inoue stoppage 5th round. Vinny, H.I. Vinny, like people call him in the chat room, said Inoue stoppage 7th. Muscle Memory said Inoue stoppage 7th. G Boogie said Inoue stoppage 6th. Boricua said Inoue stoppage 9th. Boricua Senior said Inoue in the 5th. Hand History Vault said Donaire by stoppage. All right, we're gonna ban Hand History Vault from the chat room as well. Mr. BDA said Inoue by unanimous decision. D. Jefferson said Inoue stoppage 7th. Gonzalo said Inoue stoppage in the 5th. Quag said Donaire stoppage in the 6th. Whoa, that was a crazy. Steven Schneider said Inoue stoppage in the 2nd. And Van Media said Inoue split decision. All right, so he got it pretty close there.
I didn't even give my fucking predict. Well, I must have been at work, but I had Inoue in the 8th, so I did right fighter, wrong outcome.
Yeah. Well, you know what? To Donaire, he had him hurt in the 5th.
Yeah.
Inoue had him hurt in the 5th round.
That's what I was gonna say.
I'll tell you something about Donaire though. He was hesitant to go in because Donaire almost fucking clipped him coming in at the end of the 5th round. You saw that?
Yeah.
I mean, listen. These guys they were fucking going at it. That's a good fight.
Yeah, you know what? Credit to defend the people that picked Inoue by stoppage. He almost did stop Donaire. I mean, anybody else, again, like we were saying, that size advantage and the experience did allow Donaire to survive, and the power too. It kept Inoue honest. But I don't see a lot of other 118 pounders being able to weather the storm that is Naoya Inoue. I mean, this guy just is a hard puncher. But you know what, Johnny boy, before you were here, we were also talking about all those Japanese fans that were criticizing us for not having him top 5 pound for pound. And some of these guys said that Inoue could go up all the way to 126 and beat a lot of those guys. And I said, listen, was that?
I said low.
LOL.
crazy
Yeah.
fans.
But I'm saying it happens all the time. Remember when Golovkin was running through people at 116? Some people were saying, "Oh, he could go all the way up to 175 and beat those guys." And then he started struggling
No,
against Jacobs and Canelo. So I said, "Listen,
Yeah.
let's do the same thing with Inoue. Let's keep an eye on him, see what he can do against some of the top bantamweights." I was very impressed with the Rodriguez fight, but now we can see that at 122, that might even be a little bit too much for him. He's gonna have to rely a lot on his
why is
boxing.
there always a rush? Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah.
No,
No,
go
I
ahead, go
was
ahead,
just
go ahead.
uh,
Apology.
No, go ahead, Johnny.
Oh, all
okay.
right.
I was just gonna say, yeah, as I tell these fucking mau all the time, I says, it's like guys wanting same thing with wanting Lomachenko to move up, and fight Josh Taylor. Like, dude, you're pushing the envelope one thing at a time. Slow down. Put your foot on the brake a little bit there, and just
Yeah,
coast for a while here. Now,
I agree. But
yeah, and I mean, I'm still getting guys telling me how they want to see Pacquiao and Canelo. Get the fuck out of here, Yeah, and what else we got over there? And then yeah, just slow down. I think he's not fighting no Lomachenko. Should he be top 5 pound for pound? You can make the argument. He's definitely top 10, I think, but top 5, yeah, you can make the case for it. I don't think he's quite there yet, but you can make an argument. You could say that. One Mr. Green is away, I'm the boss. You could say that.
Right.
I mean, can we slow down? He hasn't even cleared out his division. Let's see how he does against other fighters. I know he could probably beat Tete, but you never know. He might just get out of box for 12 rounds. So let's slow down a bit. Let's see how he does against other contenders, and then we can talk about him moving up and him being like number 1 pound for pound.
You just reminded me also the Errol Spence fans were saying the same thing a year ago. Oh, he runs through Sean Porter. He runs through Terence Crawford. He runs through Keith Thurman. He runs through everybody. Boom, boom. And so I
He
said,
runs
well,
through Canelo. Some
yeah,
fans
oh
saying he
yeah.
beats Canelo.
Yeah, so that's what I said. I said, listen, well, then have him move up already if he can run through all of these guys. And they're like, no, but he wants to make the money. He wants to make that money. Yo. And then what happened? He took on Sean Porter. He struggled like we predicted on this show. He struggled. So that's what we're trying to keep. And listen, it can go both ways. You can overhype a guy or you can underestimate a guy. Some people don't want to look like fools, so they completely underrate a guy and just don't give him any credit. That's not what we're doing here. We're giving him his credit. He beat Donaire, a bigger guy who could punch and had tons of experience. I liked how Inoue looked today. I give him his credit. Top 10 pound for pound. But like we were saying before, if you think he can move up to 126, no problem, or even 122, no problem. I think you're drinking the Kool-Aid a little bit there, and I want some of it. Now, here's the other thing, guys. Should Inoue move up to 122? Like I said, you got Navarrete in there, you got Ray Vargas. You also have the other guy whose name I always forget. I can't believe I always forget his name.
Daniel Roman.
Yeah, Daniel Roman, Golden Boy. The Golden Boy owned Ring Magazine has him as the number 1 dude in there. All those guys are going to give Inoue a lot of problems. So should Inoue maybe, I don't know, wait or make some of the 115 pounders go up and fight him? Because I would still love to see him take on Estrada. I would love to see him take on Sorong Visay. And I would love to see him take on Donny Nietes.
Yeah, I mean, can he not just clear out his division? Like, I hate this whole. Floyd started this whole thing. Oh, I'm going to move up in weights and grab a belt from the weakest champ. Or I'm a this weight champion, Adrian Burner. I'm a 4-weight champion, even though I didn't beat anybody. Can we just wait and let him clear out his division? Or fight the fights he, like, let's face it, Doc. I like Inoue, but he knocked those fighters down at 115. So I want to see those fights go. Can we just see those fights first and then he can move up? Is that a little too
Great
much to
point.
ask?
It's a great point. Great point.
That's right.
It's a very good
Yeah, because
point.
with the tournament, if he feels that he's done it all at the division because he beat these guys and he got the trophy and he's like the Ring Magazine champion. Well, I mean, like you said, there's Tete and these guys that didn't participate in the tournament. So yeah, I mean he's not that big of a. To me, this performance was real good too. So like when you were saying BDA, like it's gonna be hard for somebody to survive that initial wave. Yeah, like in the 5th round when he hurt Donaire. I mean, credit to Donaire that he was able to like survive, because I don't see a lot of guys getting past that initial wave. And he answered more questions, because when he had to, like the commentators were saying, when everybody's propping you up, oh, you're the best, you're pound for pound, you're one of the best fighters in the world, that can go to your head to where, you know, when he had to resort to like digging down, he did, you know, because sometimes you can get too comfortable with too many like pats on your back. That he showed that he's got the grit. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right, man. You're right. And the reason why I mentioned Donny Nietes, I know some people are going to say, oh, come on, Donny Nietes is not going to be able to handle Inoue's power. I actually see that as a bit of a Marquez Pacquiao type thing because, okay, Donny Nietes obviously doesn't hit as hard as Donaire, and he's not as explosive as Donaire, but he also throws more feints. He's still a good defensive fighter. He can crack a little bit. He's got a lot of experience. You know, make that fight at 118, 120, even, you know what, a fucking catch weight. I know those guys aren't the type of fighters who do catch weights, but I would still, I think Nietes gives Inoue a lot of problems.
And if he wins, that's another good name on his resume, and that's another good fight where he gets experience in.
Yeah, absolutely. By the way, there's Gastas in the chat room. He's not giving Donaire any credit. But then again, I think Gastas, if I remember correctly, I think he's the guy that's very... He was entertained by Vladimir Klitschko's career, so Gastas has some weird opinions when it comes to boxing. Don't take what he says too much to heart, or too close to heart, rather. So that's the thing, guys. Donaire put up a good fight. Inoue now is the winner, but like we were saying, he has not cleared up the division, and like Apology keeps saying, can we get this guy to clean up the division? Put him in there against Tete. Put him in there against Luis Nery. By the way, how many people here are familiar with Luis Nery? Because he hasn't really had many main events before. So can anybody tell us how much you know about Nery? Let's go to the list here. I know Gonzalo is familiar with him because we just talked about him. Apology. How many fights of Nery's have you seen?
One fight when he blew some guy out in 3 rounds. I forgot his name.
Okay, I'm glad you didn't cut out when you said after you said blue. You said blew out because it would have been. I only saw one fight where he blew a guy. It's like what? All right, and I think you're talking about because he fought in TV Azteca, I think, before he started getting those American television spots. And most of the time when he's fought in the US, he's only fought in undercards. He fought on the.
It was.
Yeah, go ahead.
It was for it was for his belt, so I just don't remember who it was against.
Yeah,
I was like, he was way smaller. The guy was way smaller than him. I was like, this guy's kind of a weight bully, but I don't remember what fight it was.
All right, Pete or Johnny
BDA,
Boy. How about
did you say he was a? You say he was a PBC fighter?
I don't know if he's with the PBC though, but I know he's been fighting in the PBC for the past 2 or 3 fights. Maybe more.
The last card I saw him on, I thought it was a top rank card, but maybe I'm just mistaken here. I thought it was a bunch of good. Luis Nery.
He fought people in the chat room saying he fought Payano, and that was on the Thurman Pacquiao undercard. And Sakib Rafik says he's a. Yeah, Sakib Rafik says he's a PBC fighter now, and I think he also fought Mike Joe Arroyo on the PBC as well. So he's in there with the PBC now. So I don't know if they're going to be able to work. I know the PBC they send some of the fighters over to the zone sometimes to get if they feel like they get a chance to beat the bigger A side or the A side and get that luster off of the other guy's promotional company. But I don't know if they're willing. I don't know if the PBC is willing to work with Inoue's promoters to make that fight.
So we got to call Al now. Oh man.
No,
get him on the
BDA
horn.
here.
Yes.
The guy's got a strap. They're not having no fucking crossover. PBC, let me tell you something. PBC here. The zone and top. I'm gonna do some little geography for you. The zone and Top Rank are the mainland here in the United States. Fucking what's it called? PBC's Hawaii. They live on their own little island. They're not fucking coming. No. They won't do that. No.
Yeah,
so you can forget about any Inoue Luis Nery fight anytime in the soon future, and thank Al Heyman for that.
That's a good.
Yeah, Johnny just pissed in our Cheerios. Thank you, Johnny. But he's right.
What's that, Pete?
I said Johnny just took a shit in our Cheerios, but he's right. But he's right.
Well,
Yeah, it's
yeah. I'm not taking a shit. Matter of fact, I just put a little honey and brown sugar in your cereal. I'm spicing it up for you.
but it's
Thank you,
true. I
Doc.
mean, these guys, would they really be willing to work with another promotional company to make a fight that most people aren't even going to watch? I mean, just hardcore boxing fans are going to watch that. Other than that, it's not Joshua Luis when it comes to social media presence. So I don't know if they're going to really make the effort to work together to make that fight. But on the other hand, we do have Inoue against Tete that could work, and maybe Inoue moving up to 122 if they can't make the Nery fight. So there's options out there. It's not like he's in a
Well, you
desert.
know what though? I must say they did this Boxing Super Series format. It's badass. They
Yeah.
and they're if you had to say something about them, they did put Prograde in the Boxing Super Series. Although they did try to pull some bullshit. What's his name? Promoter there.
The Bella.
Yeah, trying to
Yeah.
fire off lawsuit. But one is fucking pay up front before the fight. Whoever gets that anyway. But I'm saying they did try to upset the. They did try to make trouble, but they did let him go ahead and enter that series and fight. It's just that I think Johnny's right. Belt versus
Yeah. Well,
can
Lou
be tough.
DeBella's a fucking nipplehead.
Oh, come on.
He's a nipplehead. He speaks when he's another one who speaks when he's told to, like the fucking broad that he is. Okay.
Okay, wait, what?
You speak. Al Heyman's got him in the back room, slapping him up like the fake Italian he is, and he says, "Here, you speak when I tell you to speak."
Yeah,
You know.
Lou DiBella turned into one of those promoters they were mercenary promoters that work for Al Haymon. It's like that other dude. I forget the guy's. I don't even know the guy's name, but he's the one that's always or was always in Fanfare's corner, or not corner, but he was. I think he was his promoter. This dude with white hair, crew cut, and glasses, and he was a guy that when Fanfare beat Julio Chavez Jr. and he's in the background there where Fanfare is doing his post-fight interview, and he kept saying at the end, Al Heyman. Al Heyman. Don't forget to thank Al Heyman. And Fonfara forgot.
Yeah.
And Fonfara forgot.
Oh, God.
And then as Jim Gray is pulling the mic away, Fonfara tries to pull the mic back and said, "Oh, wait, wait, wait." But then Jim Gray walked away. But yeah, the guy was that was his job. Go in there and remind Fonfara to thank Al Heyman. And they were pretty adamant about it. And it reminded me of that story that was written in Ring Magazine by, I think it was Thomas Hauser. Allegedly, there's this couple. All they do is they record fights. They have a huge collection of fights, and they work for trainers or promoters that if they request a fight, they can always send them a copy. Well, apparently, Al Heyman's team sent them a job, and the job was do a compilation of all fighters that have ever thanked Al Heyman. That's what they requested. They commissioned the tape, a montage, melange, a vignette of fighters thanking Al Heyman. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but it just goes to show you where they're at with that whole thank Al Heyman obsession.
That was actually me that ordered that.
I'll tell you what, BDA, that fucking if they did put the compilation together, that film was probably about longer than Once Upon a Time in America, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, the director's
Everybody's
cut.
got to tickle. Everybody's got to just give them 2 strokes of a hand job after every fucking fight. Just two ups and downs, and you're out of the woods. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Remember BDA Librado Andrade when he came on? How he was speaking about Al Heyman.
Yeah, he was pretty respectful of Al Heyman, and he was saying, it's not Al Heyman's fault that we're not good at managing our money, or something like that. He said so.
Well, here, I'll tell you what. All you got to do is be a racist black guy who slaps a broad up once in a while, and you're going to get a front row seat at all the Al Heyman fights. That's
Oh,
all
come
you gotta
on.
do.
Come on, what you got to
Yeah,
do?
it's
it's
interesting.
true,
Librado
BDA
said he was He
It's
said he was
true, though,
working for
BDA,
the
come on.
PBC. He was over at the weigh-in for the zone for the Canelo fight.
Right.
He was there holding the belts. That was kind of weird.
Well, listen, if Librado Andrade has been in the game, he walked the walk. And if he says that Al Heyman was good for his career, who were we to disagree with him? I'm certainly not disagreeing with him. But it just seems like, yeah, Al Heyman, I think it's pretty well known. He wields a lot of influence over these fighters. Now, people in the chat room are arguing with gangsters. I just told you not to argue with him because he has got some weird ass opinions. So, I mean, if you want to argue with him, fine. But what's he saying? He says Usyk laughs off Wilder's best shots while Wilder proceeds to break his weak hands on Usyk's granite head. And also, there's a lot of spelling mistakes in Gangster's post, so that's another minus on his part. But anyway, listen, do what you want
Who
to
is
do,
it?
guys.
Gastus?
Ganstes. I don't know. I think I'm not sure, but I think he once made a big fuss about Vladimir Klitschko not being considered entertaining, and he said that Vladimir Klitschko was entertaining. I think I'm not sure if he's the one that said that. So, but anyway, listen. He has some weird opinions where he thinks nobody is a good puncher in boxing. Everybody's an overrated puncher. All right. What else I
Get some
want to say?
characters in there.
Oh, there's some characters in there for sure, man. Now listen, we said it all. Talked about a great fight between Inoue and Donaire. Hopefully, Inoue continues fighting the fights that we want to see him take on. Anybody else got anything to add before we go?
I'd just like to add. I would just like to add real quickly.
Go ahead.
Danny Garcia, get your balls out of your father's purse and sign the contract. Pacquiao's going to hit you harder than that fucking earthquake hit the Philippines. You understand? Get your fucking balls out of your girlfriend's purse and sign the fucking contract.
Oh, wait a
I'm
minute.
done.
Wait a minute.
mean-
What's with?
I don't want to even see that fight, so he can keep in this purse.
Okay, well, hang on.
Pacquiao's gonna beat the shit out of Garcia.
Okay, but apology. Real quickly, BDA. Who's he supposed to fight? Errol Spence is still looking for his teeth, and Crawford's the top rank. It's either him or Porter, bro.
It's gonna
I
be
want to see the
Garcia.
Porter fight, to be honest.
Well,
I want to
okay,
see the
well,
Porter fight.
so let him beat the fuck out of Danny, then he can go fight Porter. What's the problem over here?
It's going to be Danny.
Yeah.
But Johnny's big on he wants to take on that contract. Johnny's always been big on that. I will say that. He wants
I wanted
to
that
sign.
fucking Danny Garcia fight before the Thurman one even happened. I want that fucker. I'll fight Angel on the undercard, and they'll both get the shit kicked out of them.
Well, there you have it. I think it's a good.
Cocksuckers.
I think it's a pretty good fight. I mean, Danny Garcia, top 10 welterweight. Pacquiao in his 40s now, taking on a younger guy, generations apart. I mean, come on, it's a pretty good fight.
It is.
It's a good fight.
Yeah, I have one more thing to say about this fight real fast with you. Like
Alright.
you said, skills don't always pay the bills, although this guy got skill. He showed that he has that. But he definitely got the power and he got the chin. And he's also got the speed. So where you say it takes two or three things a minimum, and a variation of a few others to be like a world champion, and it's gonna stay on top. This is the guy, with that good chin and that great power, coupled with the speed, he's gonna be on top. To where even if he's a little bit defensively irresponsible, I think he can still work on that and better his craft.
Yeah, absolutely, man. You're talking about Inoue, right?
Yeah.
That's correct.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, Inoue, he did show good boxing skills. I mean, at the end of the day, he did outbox. That's why he won. He outboxed Nonito Donaire. So if he's got those boxing skills, they could translate at a higher weight class if the power doesn't cut it anymore. But I mean, listen, hey, end of the day, we wanted to see what Inoue was all about. He went 12 rounds. He got hurt. He had to come back from adversity, and I'm pretty happy about what I saw today. Pretty happy.
Yeah, because wouldn't you agree, BDA, that Donaire was kind of like the Deontay Wilder of the 118 division with that left hook?
Yeah, in a way, he was. I mean, that left hook can put any 180. I mean, listen, he hurt Nicholas Walters. What was that? 126 pounds? 130 pounds? Even,
It was 126 featherweight.
Yeah, 126. I mean, come on, this dude, and Nicholas Walters was probably a welterweight in there. So Donaire's left hook was definitely one of the most dangerous things in that tournament, other than Inoue's right hand and left hook as well. So yeah, man, pretty happy.
That little Japanese took it, man, and he came back and he put on a great fight.
Yeah, man, his chin got tested and he came back from it. So he'll learn from this fight and will have more confidence. And he can take big punches.
Right. And by the way, Dolores Schizophrenic Guzman is in the chat room saying, "Isn't your program still crying and disrespecting Canelo? We never cried about Canelo." And then she says, saying I would. Okay, I gotta translate what she's saying because I can't understand how she writes. And saying what I would have fake fighting. It was your program is a laughing joke. Well, we're not talking about Canelo anymore because we're a boxing show and we're talking about what's going on in boxing right now. This isn't the
Yeah.
Canelo channel, Dolores. So, baby, if you wanna catch more Canelo, you can go to his Instagram and post there, and maybe get some English
And
lessons too.
Dolores, we'll fucking talk about Canelo if we want to, Dolores. That's number one.
Yeah.
Number two, that name, it's
Yeah. I was just
like
gonna say.
blow me, Dolores.
Yeah. I was just gonna say Dolores Tucker trying to stop my buddies from rapping back in the day and shit over
Yeah,
here.
come on,
Anyways,
Dolores. D-Lo.
here, Dolores, you sound like your name sounds like a woman born in 1890 with curling irons in her hair right now. Okay.
Oh,
Here.
yeah, I was gonna say that. That sounds like the name of like your grandmother's name or friend or something. Like
That's
Dolores
my
is
ex-wife's name.
Yeah, Dolores.
Dolores.
No,
Yeah.
Dolores. Let me tell you something. Everybody's mad because I predicted the Canelo Kovalev fight
Ah, here we
correctly, and
go.
they didn't.
Oh, come on,
You,
Johnny.
you can't fuck with me. You understand? I
Oh,
told you he
God,
was
here
going to
we go
knock him
again.
out. You're just salty coming up with excuses about how it was a fix because I was right and you weren't. So
Here we go
fuck off.
again.
Hey, what was your prediction for Inoue Donaire again?
Hey, take it easy now.
Yeah,
Relax.
people in the chat room.
Yeah.
People in the chat room are like, "Oh, mute Johnny Boy." No, we're not gonna mute Johnny Boy. Not now. I mean, it's only if he gets out a little bit out of hand, then we'll take measures to our own hands. And yeah, don't ban or time Dolores out. She's just she's got issues, but she hasn't done anything that warrants her getting banned. We try not to ban people here. I mean, I'm getting a little bit more trigger happy with it, but not that much where I'm gonna ban people just for disagreeing or disliking
Yeah.
our show. Now, so listen, so Inoue, pretty good fight. Fight of the year candidate,
How about
maybe.
how about
Yes.
Scalebender's final thoughts there, BDA?
Whose final thoughts?
Scalebender.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Still got me?
Barely. Oh, he dropped out. He said finishing comments and he just dropped out.
My bad. Sorry.
All right.
I got a phone call. This
What's
phone
up, Pete?
hates me and I hate it. All right. Number one, as far as the Inoue goes, I'm not as in depth as Mark is into these lighter weights, but listen, it's the first time we've seen him fight upper tier opposition, probably the best opponent he's faced yet. What I see is about moving up weights is that you're comparing him to Pacquiao. Stop it. You're comparing him to Lomachenko. You still got me or no?
You dropped off after Lomachenko.
All right, you still got me?
Yeah.
All right. Stop, because these guys move up weights, but they got tremendous footwork and tremendous angles. It's not so much the power. They do have the power, but they got the footwork that basically mesmerizes all these guys at the higher weights. In a way, I didn't necessarily see that tonight. They were trading. He is tough as a motherfucker, but he did get touched up by an aging Nonito Donaire. But in the bigger picture, as far as the zone goes and as far as the Super Series goes, props to the World Boxing Super Series. It's 2 seasons in a row now with 2 weight divisions per season that have come off great, man. Fucking elimination tournaments, no bullshit. They come, they bring the good fights. We got Usyk last year, right? And we got this Inoue fights this year along with the Prograis and Taylor. I mean, good fights. Good fights. And Richard Schaefer, listen, man, I know you get a bad rap sometimes, but you're okay by me, big guy. Good job.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna redo the Bradis one. As a matter of fact, now that you mentioned that, but yeah, that's all.
Oh
You
yeah.
said
Yeah.
redo
Yeah.
it though. I saw that in the chat, but what does that mean, Bradis and
And Glowacki. I don't know if it's gonna be part of the tournament or after, but they have to. They're gonna run that back.
I mean, I love the whole format, man. It's great. I mean, am I right? Am I off on something here? I don't understand why it doesn't get picked up. But like last year, we had to watch the shit on YouTube, if I'm not mistaken. And this year, I got the Zone picked it up, I think. But I mean, I don't know. It should get more shine over here. It's a fucking great series. Great
Absolutely.
promotion.
Yeah, but it's not going to too much because I mean, little guys, most people don't care about. I mean, I really am interested to see how many other YouTube channels were even speaking or are speaking about this fight right now. By the way, Johnny Boy just dropped out. He says, "Shout out, fellas! Thanks for another good show." Yeah, thank you, Johnny Boy, for being on. And
Okay, but BDA, like just I mean, like if you knew how small these guys were in real life, I mean, it'd be like pretty shocking to a lot of people. They're the same. They're the same size guys. So in the ring, they look like. Oh, shout out to Richard Schaefer for getting Sherman Hemsley to guest referee the fight. That was AKA George Jefferson. George Jett moving on up. That looked just like George Jefferson.
yeah, he did look a little bit like that, huh? Oh, we're moving
He did, man.
on.
He's like, Weezy, I'm gonna give an 8 count. All right, but the thing is this, like, in all seriousness, though, for boxing, forget about like. I know we've been talking about Canelo, but this is for Dolores. But would you rather have had the fight you just watched air last Saturday or the Canelo? In other words, it'd been better for boxing if the Canelo Kovalev fight was 5 o'clock this morning and that Inoue fight was prime time last Saturday.
Well,
That's just a better fucking fight.
Yeah, I'd rather the zone just focus on Ryan Garcia. Give us more Ryan Garcia. But
I know that. I know you want 24/7 Ryan Garcia embedded dance cams and everything. I know you want that, but I'm saying, like, seriously though, that fucking fight's competitive, man.
I get what you're saying.
That's a damn good fight.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. That when you have two guys, whether they're 108 pounds or 200 pounds, you put them in the ring, they're the same size. You don't know it. It's like, oh, these are slow guys. But most people don't see it that way. Most people would still rather talk about Canelo Kovalev or Joshua Luis too. I mean, and Wilder Joshua potential fight there. So you know what I mean? It's like there's certain hardcore fights. Even when we did the Joshua Taylor Prograis preview show, there wasn't that many people. But then you start talking about Canelo, you start talking about the heavyweights.
Yeah, right. It's not a hot topic. I hear you. Yeah,
but well, I mean,
but I'm saying though, like, oh, go ahead. Sorry, BD.
Well, yeah. I mean, listen, it's these type of hardcore fights and events that keep boxing going to a certain extent. You got to have those mixed in with the big profile fights or the big mainstream events, I should say.
I'm just saying it's 2 years in a row now for the World Boxing Super Series to not have. I mean, was this whole Boxing Super Series this is the second season of it, correct? Someone correct me if I'm wrong. I might be totally wrong here.
Yeah, it's the second batch of tournaments. Yeah.
Second season. So I'm saying this year was the entire thing picked up on DAZN.
I think the last I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, this is the other one. This is the this tournament here, and the other tournament this year was the Prograis. What was it? 140 tournament, correct? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Last year it was the cruiserweights, and there were some fucking great fights. And we had to get on YouTube on the goddamn. No one, in other words, at the 11th hour, somebody could have bought the rights to air. Okay, your boy Steven Espinosa, instead of blowing money on what's that thing's name? You know, I'm talking about the Halloween. You know, the girl.
Shields.
I can't remember her name. Yeah,
Shields. Yeah.
Shields. Happy Halloween, Curse of Shields, and throwing money at the Brazil Wilder fight. Okay, they could have got the Super Series for pennies. Absolutely. They had no buyers for TV rights in the U.S. They could have just offered them whatever they wanted to offer them, and they didn't do it. Okay, so it's 2 years in a row now that there's probably been a handful of fights, 5 fights. You're talking about all the Usyk fights, the Dorticos, the Breedis, that cruiserweight tournament had some fucking wars. This tournament here had some damn good fights that have not been given any exposure. So hardcore fans, we're all gonna watch these fucking fights. We're sick, you know. We're gonna almost get fired from our jobs because we're talking about this shit post fight. But I'm saying, for boxing though, give the Super Series the respect that it's due. Thank you.
Yeah, that's the main point there. Give those, because they were really some of the highlights of the year, this tournament. I mean, they put. Listen, how many times do we bitch and moan about, oh, the best aren't fighting the best. These guys are avoiding
That's
each other.
right.
We got promotional, politics outside of the ring are preventing the fights happening. The WBSS comes along. Hey, you want to fight? You want to fight? Yeah, let's go. Tournament style. And at the end, we got some sensational fights. And, other than the 118-pound snag they had with Tete, everything went along pretty well. We did find out who the
Pretty damn
best
good.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
so
listen, last year you talking about the sanctioning bodies. You can't get these guys to agree on anything. You got all four sanctioning bodies to basically the cruiserweight tournament last year was for undisputed in the cruiserweight division. I mean,
exactly.
Yeah. And you know what? These two finals for me, they were like the 1 and 2 as far as the best fights of the year. They
there
topped
you go.
the PBC ones. The Thurman Pacquiao was good. Jared Hurd. What's the other guy's name? Jared Hurd. J Rock was also good. But these two topped it off.
Yeah,
Yeah, man. So shout out to World Boxing Super Series and Richard Schaefer. You
absolutely.
fat, greedy, swindling Swiss banker. But I love you, man. I love you, Richard.
Well, I don't know how much he had to do with this one, but if he did, I guess he even a Swiss banker can have a good day when he wants to. So
What, is he
shout
not
out.
involved with the Super Series anymore?
What I'm saying is I don't know how much of it he had to do with putting this together, but if he did, yeah, shout out to Richard Schaefer for putting on a great series of events that showed us who the best in the division in the respective divisions are. All right, so that's about it for this podcast. I don't know if Bucho is going to do another one, an evening version for those who did not get to be on today, because again, this fight was scheduled for 7 a.m. Eastern time over here, so it's a weird thing. John Gonzalez in the chat room says next year WBSS BDA tournament for the Nikolai Valuev trophy. Oh, by the way, can we just say how can we just say how cheap that trophy looked?
Yeah,
It,
that's a cheesy trophy. But you know
it
what? It's a trophy. What they should, you know what they should have given him a little tiny, like a little 8-inch tall with a marble base and a little fake gold plastic little boxer, like a little, little guy throwing a punch.
yeah, something made out of metal or glass or something. This looks like it was made of plastic. It looked like
I
it was
mean, the
made out of like a.
Starland used the rest of the money on coke, so
Oh,
didn't
come
have a lot
on.
left.
Hey, you know what? Throw him 10K in cash and a rubber band. That's what they should give him. Just throw him 10K. Boom. Thank you. I,
Yeah.
I mean, the trophy looks like I made it, out of some scrap metal or something.
It,
Just
it
throw him some cash, these guys.
it looks like it was made out of plastic, man. It looks like it was made out of like some cheap plastic, and they just sprayed some gold paint on it, and boom, there you go. That's the trophy. It was really disgusting, but hey, I guess it's
Yeah.
symbolic, right?
Yeah, you
Anyways,
had
Yeah,
fights
it
in Harada
was.
giving the trophy to Inoue, and he was ignoring him. He was like, and the guy was dissing him.
yeah, I
You
mean,
know that? Oh, yeah.
I guess you know what. I guess what counts, like they say, it's the intent or the intention behind the act. So they gave him the Muhammad Ali trophy, and that's the symbol right there. It's not about how good the trophy is, how it looks, whether it's gonna break or not once it hits the floor the first time. No, it's about the symbol.
Paper mache.
Yes. I mean, listen, I don't know what he's gonna do with that. But anyway, guys, thank you for being on. Like I said, Bucho might be conducting another show today, so keep an eye out for that one. And that's about it. Thank you for being on, fellas.
All
I
right,
want.
guys. Have a good day. Thanks for having me.
All right, thank you for being on. I want to give a shout out to the panelists, Johnny Boy who was here, Gonzalo, Apology, Pete, Bucho for faxing me the list of the predictions. Shout out to Bucho. Shout out to everybody in the chat room as well. I want to give a shout out to Pete, Boxing Spectrum, aka Gonzalo, and Chris K, aka Undercover Agent, for their super chat contributions. Thanks a lot, fellas. And before we go, of course, we got to thank everybody who listened in today, everybody who tuned in to watch this podcast. Hold on a second. I want to give a shout out to Sakib Rafik, Box, St. Brit, Nes Mendoza, Grievous, Official Scorecard of Boxing, Pink Panther, Grievous, Gonzalo was in there as well. Who else? Yeah, Quags, Triple JJJ, Body Aces, Triple JJJ, Subhash Kunwar, Rohoa, Lourdes Batista, the Quags, My homegirl Dolores, who was just timed out by Shepard. Yeah, Shepard, don't time her out. Leave her be. She's a big girl with a big heart, looking for a little love. Ness Mendoza, Duck, Quacks, Body Aces, Philippe Courtois, Johnny Boy is in there, John Gonzalez, Don Man,